Division 2, and you're live with Tux. What's going on, Bandidos? I hope you all are having a fabulous Tuesday. It's reset day. Yup. So we're up to our shenanigans all over again. So we got a good show for you today. Today, or tonight, or this morning, depending on where you are in the world, I got two great, I should say, Bloodsucker builds for you. And these are legendary Bloodsucker builds, and I'm going to show you how to use them to solo legendary, as a matter of fact. So that's what we're going to focus on today. But before we get started, let's just make sure I am coming in loud and clear. So can you give me a Tux Live? And I see Dutchy RL is on the job. Appreciate that. And Pamela Alvarado gives me a second one. All right. So it sounds like you guys can understand the words coming out of my skeleton teeth. Appreciate that, Skeletor. All right. And so we are, just so you guys know, we are double streaming here to YouTube and to Twitch. So we got a double community here. So we'll be taking questions from both sides. And yeah, appreciate that. So, all right, just a quick little bit of housekeeping before we get too far ahead of ourselves. First, if you like what I do and you want to support me and the Division 2 community, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate that. All right. And we're going to see who's in the house in just a moment. But before we do that, let's just make sure you guys know what is going on out there. So yesterday, I released a very rare legendary build with 45% armor on kill. Did you guys check that one out yet? Have you seen that one? So if you haven't, I'm gonna drop that link. You can check it out later. 45% armor on kill, legendary, solo legendary build. You can definitely run it solo. And then I will also be dropping links in the description for all the builds that I talked about today. All right. So that rare legendary build, if you're catching this on the replay, the link to that video is in the description of this live stream. So you can check that out if you're catching this on the replay. Also, members of Tux's Players Club, last week I dropped the Red Foundry build. The link is also in the description area of this video. So check out that one. That's the latest classified build. Really cool. I call it the Red Foundry. A lot of fun. It effing shreds. It's a DPS build that's focused on time to kill and time to heal. So it's got top tier in both of those departments. So go get it. And hardcore members, don't forget your digital download and gamer music playlist awaits you. Find the link below or head over to the members only section on my YouTube channel. So let's see who we got in the house today. So this is a midday stream, so probably a few new names. Ultra Mega Man, we got our boys from down south, down yonder. Destroyer Words, Pamela, Skeletor, Black John Wick, glad you made another one. Don, welcome, brother. Prezman, appreciate you. And Hump the Dead. What up, brother? And Richard Pig, welcome, man. Hey, by the way, if you guys haven't already, please make sure you follow me on Twitch. We are trying to grow our Twitch side of things. So I'm dropping links to the Twitch. Make sure you hit the follow. And if you're tuning in on Twitch, then yeah, please hit that follow button. We don't have a subscribe button on Twitch yet, but that's what we're working up to. So maybe by the end of this week, if we hit all our marks. Dubster! Dutchy Wobberjack, what's going on, brother? Hey, Richard, I just dropped that link to Twitch there in the feed. Hopefully you got it. Let me know if you didn't. Josmar Andra, what's up, bud? He goes, what up, Bandidos? All right. Fat Cat, what's going on, my man? All right. Oh, by the way, if you guys are looking to join a new clan, the Tux clans are thriving in a time where clans are dying, unfortunately. So we're here to help. We're to help keep the game alive with a real positive community. And so if you guys are in the Tux clans, if you guys don't mind giving a hashtag Tux clan in the feed, throughout the feed, and no sense of urgency there, but whenever it's good for you, that lets those who are interested in joining know who to reach out to. You can also head over to our Discord. There will be Discord links dropping throughout this live. So as a matter of fact, I'll jump on them right now, but the Discord is the place to be. And a really good, easy place to find the clans too. So we got multiple clans on all the platforms, so check those out. All right, oh, what up from Portugal? All right, JD Reis, what's up, my man? I don't know a lick of Portuguese, unfortunately. so that's the extent of my Portuguese. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So sad. I did pick up some Brazilian Portuguese when I was down south, living down south in South America for a little bit, but not any true Portuguese. Okay. So let's look at some builds. You guys ready? Who's ready to look at builds? Raise your paw. All right. So we got 2 builds today. Okay. So I'm gonna show you one at a time, and then I'm gonna show you gameplay one at a time. So the first one is so these are all focused around Bloodsucker and the ability to legendary solo. Okay, so let me just get rid of these flags because they annoy me. So they annoy me. They distract me. All right, I just got to do that. Okay, so these are all focused on Bloodsucker. Now I'm not running perfect Bloodsucker on purpose. Okay. And that's because for this build, I'm not interested in the armor regen. Although I have a little bit of armor regen here, I'd rather have crit chance there, but it is what it is. So the idea behind this build is to run a lot of armor, okay? And that way, when you proc Bloodsucker, it just super stacks faster. So Bloodsucker, I don't know if multiplicative armor is the best word for it, but that's basically how I would describe it. So basically, on your first kill with Bloodsucker, you get a little bit of armor, right? And then on your second kill, you all of a sudden get double what you originally did on your first kill. And then on your third kill, you get double of that, triple of that. So it sort of multiplies on top of each other. And so I want to call that multiplicative armor, bonus armor. And I'm not sure if that's the right word for it, but that's the behavior that it does. So basically I got Cheska for the crits, right? So I'm running 4 pieces of negotiators, and I'll talk about why. But before I get that, so the Bloodsucker, okay, so that's what we're doing. So the idea here is to give ourselves an invisible shield. By doing that, we'll be able to basically stay out of cover longer so that we can shoot more. Now, I'm not talking about, this isn't the kind of build that we're gonna be running around, with our heads cut off and like an open and face tanking fools. That's not what I mean by getting out of cover more. What I mean by getting out of cover more is I mean pop our heads out to shoot, okay? And so, because we're doing legendary, and then what I'm trying to do here is give ourselves an invisible shield, but maximize our damage, okay? And so I'm running the sacrifice with all crits with perfect glass cannon. So that means we're gonna take more amplified incoming damage, up to 60%, right? But I'm also gonna be dishing 30% amplified damage out. So I feel like a Bloodsucker and perfect glass cannon are a really nice combo because it basically makes that amplified, the glass part not so glassy. And the reason why is because Bloodsucker requires a kill, right? And so you got to get the kill. If you don't get the kill, you don't get the bonus armor. So with perfect glass cannon is basically amping up our damage. Well, it is amping up our damage by 30%, right? But because we're running negotiators, we're spreading that damage across 3 enemies. So it's really important that we have amplified damage. I really like it for negotiators builds, but it's also a good combo for Bloodsucker. It's a perfect matchup. But if you don't want to do glass cannon, then just go with regular glass cannon if you don't want to run perfect, or you can also do obliterate if that suits you better. So, but I think this is a really, really comfortable setup. And the reason why is because even if you're not like a super advanced player, negotiators is very forgiving for players, okay? And so when you team up negotiators dilemma with things like that require a kill, negotiators is going to do a lot of work for you there. Okay, and so negotiators is never really a run and gun build set. I mean, you can force it down that way, but by doing that, you're taking away a lot of its power, and that's what it's good for. It's good for its power, yo. So let's just keep it real, keep it where it's at. So negotiators is a hold your ground, clear the entire battlefield from a single position, basically. That's the point of, that's how negotiators works. And because you all you got to do is tag an enemy, and enemy's always kind of running towards you and running away, running towards you, running away, running towards you, running away, then you don't need to move. All you got to do is crit on that guy, and then spread the damage, then focus fire. So you basically, how negotiators works, I know you guys know this, is crit on 3 guys, focus fire on one of them, and watch all 3 die. Okay, so normally I gotta say that I don't have it here, but the negotiator's backpack is best in slot for negotiators builds, but we're doing something different today. Okay, this is a bloodsucker build first, and then a negotiators build second. Okay, so the reason why we're running negotiators is because by running bloodsucker on our backpack, we're taking away what could be a damage talent there. I would rather run, not rather, but I would otherwise be running something like the Memento or Vigilance or Composure, whatever you want, but a damage talent on the backpack, right? And so because we're running a defense talent on the backpack, then we need to make up for that, 25% missing damage there, right? And so what negotiators does is, basically, because you are applying damage to 3 enemies at the same time, you're putting out an additional 200% damage. Well, it's really 60% times 2, so really 120% additional damage, okay? So that more than makes up for that loss of 25% damage. But in other words, we need to rely on negotiators in combination with bloodsucker, okay, to make up for that damage loss, because we only have 3 talents, right? 1 on the gun, 1 on the chest, and 1 on the backpack. Okay, so and so we need to make up for that. Okay, so 2 pieces gives us crit chance, 3 pieces gives us crit damage, and the 4th piece gives us hostile negotiations, which means you crit up on 3 enemies, and for 20 seconds by shooting one of those guys, 60% of that damage is being spread to the other 2 guys. Okay, now when you get the backpack, you can pump that up to 100%, but we're okay with this. And that's because we got a lot of damage happening. And every time we kill an enemy, we get 2% more critical hit damage. And that stacks up to 20 times, which is 40% critical hit damage, okay? So, and we want lots of armor. So basically, think about this is the way the mechanic's gonna work. So listen closely, because this is the deal, all right? And so both bloodsucker builds are building around the bloodsucker capability, which means on kill, you get bonus armor. So with negotiators, in theory, we're killing 2 to 3 enemies at a time. Does that make sense? So basically, we're getting triple bloodsucker kicking in. It's kicking in all the time, basically, is what's happening. So even if I'm focus firing and one guy, somebody else on the other side of the battlefield who I tagged earlier is dying, and I'm gonna get that bonus armor. What I want the bonus armor for is simply to stay out of cover longer, to shoot more. The best way to use negotiators is to always be firing. If you are cowering with negotiators, then you need to adjust your setup or find better cover, usually. Okay? You need to find better cover. But the goal with negotiators is to always be shooting. The reason why is, not many people know this, but this is a crowd control build. This is a crowd control build. People think it's a DPS build. Of course, it is also a DPS build, but it's a crowd control build. You basically, what you're doing is you're thinning the herd. You're thinning the ranks, right? So by eliminating enemies or by applying damage to more than one enemy, making it easier for your homies to kill. So, but either way, this is and so in order to effectively be using this build, you need to always be shooting. Otherwise, you're gonna be wasting ammo, because those marks will expire after 20 seconds. So you need to be shooting at all times. And that's why that's why it synergizes. That's the synergy between bloodsucker and negotiators. You get a kill, you get bonus armor. That means you can stay out of cover longer and be shooting more. The more you shoot, the more people die, the more bonus armor you get, then the longer you can stay out of cover. It's this vicious circle in a good way. Okay, so I got 1.5 million armor, so we can see that armor rise. And so you're gonna see crazy armor happening, guys. You can see millions of armor. 3 million, 3.5 million, whatever. All right, so let me show you the full set now. Okay, so armor, crit damage, crit everywhere is basically what you want, okay? And then here's the gloves with armor and crit damage. and then my knee pads with weapon damage and crit damage, and then my holster with more crit damage and armor. And then you saw this already, but here's the chest piece again with crits all around. I like that 15% headshot damage. I like that, so that's good. I want that. I'll show you why in a minute. And then the backpack, again, I'm running the chest cut piece to make sure I got all the crits that I need. And then more crit damage, and then Bloodsucker. Now, I do wish I was crit chance there instead of armor regen, but that's okay. It's not the worst thing. So on top of the armor, bonus armor on kill, I'm running Gunner, which is giving us 10% armor on kill. So the reality is we're double stacking that armor. We're getting our heals and then an invisible shield. Okay, and you also need bonus armor. You need Gunner for negotiators because you're always shooting. So you do run into ammo issues. So it's really important that you're running Gunner. Now the gun, this is important. I'm running the Police M4. You can run your favorite assault rifle, but I'm running the 8x scope. Okay, and so that's giving me that 30% more headshot damage. That's a lot of damage. You got to remember you're spreading that across 2 other enemies. All right. And then we got crit chance and more crit chance. And then I got extra rounds for the mag. And then this really cool skin called Corporate. This is a Resident Evil skin, actually. So damage to targets out of cover is really important. So I recommend you get with that. And then Strained, which is giving us 50% more critical hit damage. And it actually, we're at 850 RPM. And I feel like Strained and 850 RPMs goes great together. If you don't like Strained, try Optimist. Either way. But the 30x headshot scope is really important for this setup, the way I'm running it. And the reason why is because I'm using the shield, so I'm going to be using the right corner optimized view strategy to solo this legendary you're about to see, all right? So basically, this is a tier 5 shield because of all the armor I'm running. So it's a pretty strong shield. So for what it is, for a DPS build. All right, so, and then I'm using the turret basically just to take aggro because we're gonna be holding our ground. We're gonna be sitting still. For my secondary weapon, I'm using the swap chain with perfect unwavering, which is crazy. It's got that 400% weapon handling. Notice I got the 8x scope on it as well. You can actually blind fire and hit fools in the head from like 40 meters out. So it's pretty amazing. And then the pistol is just kind of whatever. I'm not actually using it. So that's the setup. Let me show you the crits real quick. So we're at basically max crit chance. And then remember, we're getting 40% from the negotiator set on crit damage and then another 50% from the assault rifle. So this is a 250% crit damage build with 120% headshot damage on top of that. Those are not small numbers. Those are serious numbers. Word. Okay, so I am going to start the gameplay footage. So let's do some legendary. And then at the same time, I'll be taking some of your questions. So let's get with it. All right, so here we are at District Union. And so basically I'm just gonna demonstrate how to solo legendary with this a little bit. And then we're gonna show you the next build because I got 2 Bloodsucker builds for you today. So basically I'm in scope basically the whole time. So just like I said with negotiators, it's really important that you find a good piece of cover and then just hold your ground from that point forward. So that's basically the strategy, not very hard. Kill, always be shooting. But what I want you to pay attention to as kind of we get warmed up here is all the bonus armor that just starts stacking on itself. And so it comes and goes, of course, because that bonus armor from Bloodsucker only lasts for 10 seconds, but we're always killing. So you'll see it go up, and then it goes down. But tanks don't count, just so you know. Tanks don't count as kills. I don't know why, but they don't. Michael Myers, good evening. Jasper, JD Race, M. Hisson Hakeem, what's up, brother? So I see your questions there, Steve. I'm gonna get to you in a second, and I just want to make sure I say what's up to those who entered the stream. Same with you, Dutchy. Andrew Coley, I see your question, bro. I'll get to you in a second as well. John Chows, what's up, man? I see your question as well. And with this week, what up, banditos? He says. All right, and sorry, I'm just getting caught up because a lot of people entered the stream as I was going through the build. Kudos. What's up on Twitch side? Chemical or PR? Am I saying that right? Chemical or PR? Yeah, we got multiple, Skeletor, I see your questions as well. We got multiple clans on PlayStation and Xbox and PC. Well, PC, we just have one, actually. So they're growing. But on PlayStation and Xbox, we got 3 or 4, depending on one. And we just opened the third one about 2 weeks ago. And I think that's getting pretty full. I'm not sure if it's all the way full yet, but we are talking about 4th. Oh, Jasper, you're from the Netherlands. I didn't catch that. Appreciate you helping out Skeletor with the questions on the sub side for Twitch. Yeah, no sub button yet. We're hopefully by the end of this week we'll get there. Maybe the beginning of next week, just depends. Steve S, I see your question too. So I will get to you that as well. Dutchy, I'll answer your question now because it's related to the build. Okay, so Dutchy says, you only need to target 3 targets and just kill 1 for spreading the damage, or do you need to kill the target with a crit hit, like shooting at a backpack? I think I understand your question. So basically, crits are really important. The damage doesn't spread unless you're critting. So the way it works is this. So like, if you're critting 60% of the time, then that means 60% of the total damage you're putting out is spreading to the other guys that you critted on. So you got to crit on the guy to tag him, and then you got to crit on whoever you're shooting for the additional NPCs to feel that pain. So you got to always be critting, basically. That makes sense. So that's what you got to get with the negotiators build. It is important that you get as close to 60% as possible. So for me, we're at 57%. Always be critting, basically. If you're not critting on the enemy, you're not spreading the damage. So you have to always be critting. Fat Cat, I hear you about the, he's saying we should hook up with the clans and finish some open world hunters for those that didn't finish them yet. I'm always down to that. I love killing hunters. I love my max blind build to take out hunters. If you guys haven't tried that, you should. The Story of Words says, the M4, she's a beaut. She's an absolute beautiful thing. The CTAR is officially my favorite assault rifle, but it doesn't accept the 8x scope. It doesn't accept scopes that scope in. So, unfortunately, look at that bonus armor, by the way. See, that allows me to stay out here and shoot. Stay and shoot. The only reason why I'm using the shield is so that I can peek around corners and take minimal damage. So the shield is not a protector shield. I mean, it's helping a little bit. It takes a little bit of damage off of me, but the shield is only allowing me to find a nice corner and to shoot around it. Because when you have the shield and the 8x scope, you get a wider view, a wider angle, but it's got to be on the right-hand side. Zero regrets. What's going on, brother? Richard Balance, B-Boy, Loretto, Andrew Coley asks a question. I want to run an LMG striker build with good survivability. What would you recommend? The Negev is actually pretty nice. I like that if you like higher rate of fires, but I mean, the Pestilence is pretty overpowered. But the sad part with the Pestilence is you can only run 3 pieces of striker because the Pestilence doesn't, the Plague of the Outcast doesn't basically take the amplified damage from striker. So I just did a build not long ago. I'm actually going to grab the link here for you and drop that link. Okay, so this is a Pesty striker build, and it was a live feed. So actually there's a lot of knowledge nuggets in that one. So check that one out. It's called Pesty striker build. I just dropped the link in the chat feed. Andrew Coley. Let's see. So I'm gonna get back to some of these questions that I said I would. Josmore Andra, I don't know if I said hello, but hello if I missed you. And again, everybody that entered the stream, make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you haven't, and follow me on Twitch. We are trying to grow that Twitch channel. M3 Media. So I have good question. M3 Media says, what if you use the backfire with this build? I did use the backfire with Negotiator's Dilemma. The problem is range, of course, right? So so you can get the max hazard protection to work, and actually you can get all the so basically what you end up doing is it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, I gotta admit, because you take away a lot of your crit damage so that you can roll the hazard protection you need for the backfire. And then the backfire gives you that 200% crit damage, but you lost a lot of it because you had to put on hazard protection. So I feel like, you know, I mean, of course, you have to, and then you also have to stack up that crit damage with the backfire. And you know, everybody knows the biggest problem with the backfire is that crit damage expires. So you spend all the time stacking it up, and then it expires on you, and then you have to restack it all over again because it only lasts for 10 seconds, right? Unless you're constantly hitting somebody with those bullets with their gun. And so the problem is that, you know, enemies move, or you have to chase them down, and so it ends up expiring with you. So it's a good, you got to try it, but the problem is that because Negotiator's builds tend to be on the weak side, you know, and the answer, adding armor isn't really the answer, because even if you're running 2 million armor or 1 million armor, the enemies wipe that armor just as fast. So I don't know. So I kind of have mixed feelings about it, but I did create that build a while back, and it's called the Negotiator. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up and drop that link, because it is a unique build. It is unique. Oh, actually, it's a video. It's not a live stream, so let me try to find it. I actually created it around the time the backfire came out. So I'm going back in the time. Try to find this one. I'm close. I can smell it. Here it is. So check this one. So this is a Negotiator Negotiator backfire. It's actually pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But you got to play in tight too, you know. But I'm so Tin, I see your question there. Tin asked what chest talent I'm using. I am using the Perfect Glass Cannon, so the sacrifice with all crits, and that's because the Glass Cannon is synergizes really nice with Bloodsucker, because with Bloodsucker you need a kill in order for it to work, right? So whatchamacallit? Well, Glass Cannon helps you helps ensure that you get that kill. You have a fast time to kill. So because you want to basically, and plus and it also synergizes nice with, it's a 3-way synergy. It also synergizes nice with negotiators, because you're spreading that extra amp damage you have to 2 additional enemies on top of the one you're targeting. So yeah, so it's a really good synergy. But I know, you know, a Glass Cannon is something like, I didn't use Glass Cannon for a really long time, guys. I kind of like, I don't get it. You know, why, you know, and so, but eventually once I used it, I was like, oh man, now I can never go back. So once you wield that power, you know, but And there's actually builds that I've created, like if you guys have checked out Slaughter, the link to Slaughter is in the description of this video, but that's a hybrid skill build that you can actually get out of cover with and solo legendary. And that one uses glass cannon. So there are a few builds where you can actually get out of cover, run and gun with glass cannon. And the Slaughter is one of those. But look at all that bonus armor, guys. Did you see that? Let me scroll back just a little bit there. I want you to see that. Look at all the bonus armor. Look at all that bonus armor. That's a shit ton. Really helpful. And one of the reasons that I realized that this was good was that that bonus armor is really, really helpful for what you would call it, for those drones. Those drones, you know, like you need that extra bonus armor for the drones if nothing else. Zero regrets. Regrets. No regrets. Oh, M3 knows what we're talking about then. He's like, right now I'm running Negotiator with Bloodsucker, along with Ridgeway. Yeah, Ridgeway's interesting. Get that incoming heals. There's been a couple of times, just so you guys know, like where I'm taking out these dogs, and that fucking purple one will land a perfect grenade on me and wipe me out in one hit. It's like, what? Did he shove it down my throat? Hey, just a quick reminder, the latest classified build, the link to that video is in the description of this video. So for those of you that are in Texas Players Club on YouTube, you know who you are because you got that cool little skull. You should make sure you check that video out. If you didn't know, classified builds are secret builds made just for Texas Players Club True and Hardcore Bandido member levels. And these are extra builds that I make as a thank you for supporting me in the community. So if you want to tap into these and support the cause at the same time, then make sure you click the join link, which is also in the description area below, but I will drop one in the feed. So there's that too. Got to make it easy for you guys. Question from John Chow's I meant to get to, which is, what would be a good build for the Bullet King? Actually, Negotiators is a good one. Always be shooting, right? And what does the Bullet King do? Allow you to always be shooting because there's no reload. So I think Negotiators is a kind of a natural one for the Bullet King. It's kind of an obvious one too, I guess. So if you're looking for something not so obvious, I would have to think about it. But Negotiators is a good one. Striker also, so both of those are kind of, you know, obvious ones. But I don't know if you really need Striker. I mean, the additional RPMs would be nice. The amplified damage, nice too. But I feel like Negotiators is probably the better way to go because, again, Negotiators helps those builds that are lacking a little bit of damage. It kind of compensates because it allows you to spread the damage to 2 additional enemies, which, if you think about it, is like 200% more damage output, right? So that's basically a compensator. And since the Bullet King is lacking power, that's a really, really good thing for that weapon. I've been meaning to get around to the Bullet King, actually, John, so stay tuned because I'm probably going to create a special build for it. You know, I think I'll probably show the Negotiators and the Striker versions too, just because they're kind of obvious. And so I don't want to skip over the obvious, but they are obvious. So, but I'll probably come up with a one that has a little more tuck sauce on it, if you know what I mean. Jorel, what's going on, man?
Serious trauma detected.
Jorel asks if I'm planning to make like real raid instructional videos. I don't know. I mean, there's just I guess I could make them from like, this is your first time raiding. The hard part about raid videos is, well, I don't know. I guess they could be pretty generic. I just always think that, you know, because the game evolves, like every time they do like a title update, you know, You can no longer one-shot this guy. You can no longer, you know, this is no longer the meta build. Like, for example, like, the Scorpio didn't used to be a thing, and now it's like a thing that everybody uses in the raid. And so, I don't know, I'd have to think about it, but... Yeah, no, I'm just using the scope for the corners. I get the Tin is asking, okay, I thought you were using focus. You can totally use focus, actually, as a matter of fact. You can totally use focus. I want the amplified damage, though. Focus is nice, but I want the amplified damage because, as you can see, that the amplified damage doesn't have any stacking time meters like focus, right? Where focus is like for every second, you get 10% damage, right? Now, with glass cannon, it's like immediate, and I need that. You want burst damage, as much burst damage as you can get, the more enemies you're gonna kill. And so that's also part of DPS checking, right? Like as people are pushing up into your comfy zone, you know, then you wanna send them back, and that's what burst damage is gonna do for you. And so the problem is like when you go in and out of scope a lot, like sometimes I go in and out of scope, then you'd be resetting focus, right? You'd be resetting it. But it's relatively good for this, but for legendary, it's relatively good for this strategy that I'm doing now with the shield. You could totally run focus. But for me, I just like the glass cannon. I want that burst damage. Group of Unknowns, what's going on, man? Glad you made the stream. Montese, what's going on, bro? Special shout out to Tux's Players Club on all the platforms and all the capitans. Like Reaper and Vulture Virus. What up, guys? The Xbox boys, Latina, Jaco. What's going on? And if I'm missing somebody's name, you gotta excuse me because there's a lot of names. A lot of capitans in Tux clans. So, okay, so this is the next build, okay, guys? You guys ready for build number 2? What? Are we ready for build number 2? All right. So, both of these builds you can solo legendary. This one, I show a little bit more. I go a little bit farther, but that's basically where I stopped with the negotiators build just for time because I didn't need to complete it. But, okay, so this is build number 2. Look at this one. This one's gonna be a skill variant, but it's a hybrid, right? Okay. And you're gonna like, actually, you know what? Let me head over to the shooting range to do a quick demonstration. Hit the like, subscribe if you haven't, yo. Also, follow me on Twitch. Links are being dropped throughout the feed, so if you don't have links over to my Twitch side, then I'd appreciate you heading over there and making sure you hit the follow. There's no subscribe button yet. We're working on that maybe by the end of the week. Let's see here. Actually, let's go over here. This one's better. Okay, actually, you know what? What I want to really demonstrate is this, okay? So let me damage myself all the way. So look at the regen on this build. That's nice. This is a skill build. Remember that. This is a skill build. Look at the regen there. That's beautiful, okay? So the idea is, so this is a Bloodsucker build. It's built around Bloodsucker. So the idea is you take some damage and then you're gonna get a bonus shield, right? The bonus armor, which is gonna act as a shield. So while your shield is up, this armor regen is gonna be going behind the scenes the whole time, right? So I can have armor regen. That's basically most of the blue that you see here. And I'll show you all the builds in a second. But the reason why I'm running this, okay, is because, let me put this on very hard, is that, I don't know if you knew this, but your skills can proc Bloodsucker too. So it's not just your gun, so I can let my skills proc. So the skills will proc it. See that? So my skills are able to proc it. Isn't that cool? So did you guys know that? Did you guys know? I know a lot of you do, but for you new players or people that don't use Bloodsucker, may not know that. So there's a lot of people that don't use Bloodsucker. So, but Bloodsucker can be procced by your skills, and that's why we are running it on this particular skill build. We are running it because, again, we're looking for synergies, and I want to demonstrate synergies for you and show you different ways that you can creatively use something like Bloodsucker. So you guys might be thinking, well, Bloodsucker is a great defensive talent for a DPS build, or maybe it's good for tank builds. But yeah, but if you haven't thought about it for a skill build, you should, because it works really well, really well. So, but at the same time, in order for Bloodsucker to work well, you also have to have armor. So that's why you do have to balance a little bit. So on the negotiators build, we started with 1.5 million armor. On this build, we're starting with 1.1 million armor. And the reason why is because this build isn't relying on crits. It does rely a lot on, whatchamacallit.
You can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Welcome to the Players Club. Appreciate that, brother. True Bandido member level as well. Appreciate you joining the Players Club and supporting me, the channel, and the community, my man. Appreciate that. So also, I do want to drop some links for you guys that are just now joining the Players Club, like John. Here's some links for you. Actually, let me drop it here real quick. And so the first one's going to take you just to my channel, but what I want you to know is now that you're in the Players Club, and as a True Bandido, there's a members only playlist right at the top of my YouTube page. And so all of those classified secret builds that I've created in the past, you now have access to. So just go there and you can get access to all of those. Also, there's a link to Discord, and you should be joining us over there if you haven't. And there's a Players Club members only channel on Discord too. So appreciate you, John, man. Appreciate that. Let me see here. Welcome to Kim Pods.
You can't be any geek off the street.
All right, new Bandido.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Appreciate you, Kim. So same thing to you. Thanks for supporting me and the community, man. We appreciate you. I appreciate you, Kim. Yeah, so I just put those links there, Kim. You should check those out when you get a chance as well. And just so you guys know, like what content you can access and what content you can't access will depend on your level, your membership level. So anyways, so let's get back to this build for a quick sec here and just make sure you guys understand. So this is about synergy. So that's what I'm basically promoting here with these Bloodsucker builds, is that, hey, so we got the DPS version, and I don't have a tank version here, but I do want to show you that we have these skill versions as well, these hybrids, right? So, but like I was saying, like you don't want to put too much armor on this because then you're gonna take away from your skill damage.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
So I did start with 3 and I didn't like it, like 3 armor cores, and so I would drop it back down to 2. So this is a good place to be. Okay, so
you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Why it's doing that? It's weird.
You can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Another person joining. Appreciate you. Woo woo. Actually, I think that person joined the on the stream, off so the street. Awesome.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
More joined the club. The great name, Bend Over More. Let me see. Anyways, for some reason this number changes depending on where I am.
Geek off it's the actually street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
75,000, but earlier it was showing me 105,000. Anyways, let's not focus on that. We're getting off track here. So let me show you that. So we're gonna run the capacitor because we want that 60%
gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
To the skills. But you actually in the gameplay footage, I'm also running the test subject, so that should be known. So I'm switching between the test subject and the capacitor.
Gotta be handy with the steel,
I do run the test subject when I want more burst damage from my skills and my gun, so it just depends on where I am. Okay. And then for the other one, capacitor is more like when I'm your long durational fights. So that's kind of how I choose which one to go to. Skeletor! Woo woo! Welcome, brother. Thanks for the upgrade, man. Appreciate the hardcore. Skeletor, you should know that you do get access to the playlist as well. As a hardcore member, you get digital downloads and it's a gamer music playlist for streaming as well. So definitely take advantage of that. And again, if you to catch up on all the membership content that has been released prior to joining the membership, then you can just go to my YouTube homepage and right at the top there's a members only playlist. And yeah, Skeletor. So had to get that hardcore because yeah, those vibes, that playlist. Like if you like the music that you're listening to in my streams like this one, then yeah, they're at a beats per minute to help you slay fools and bob your head at the same time. So okay. So we got 3-piece Empress. Okay, so skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. So that skill efficiency is basically everything that is inside skill. So that's skill duration, skill haste, skill damage, skill repair, all that good stuff. Okay, so basically by running 3 pieces of Empress, you're getting at least 20% skill damage plus all that other goodies. Now I need the armor regen, so that's there. And then I got protection from elites. You don't have to do protection from elites, but protection from elites synergizes with bonus armor. So the elites are basically going to be putting out less damage, which means your bonus armor is going to be staying up longer, which means you can shoot out of cover more. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm doing that. So the backpack is Bellstone, and I'm using Bellstone because I want that armor regen. Okay, the 1% armor regen. We got armor regen, skill damage, 4 protection from elites, and now we got perfect Bloodsucker, which gives us 12% bonus armor instead of 10%. Still lasts for 10 seconds. The chest piece, we are still running glass cannon. I got Wyvern. It's actually a really important piece. If you can find this piece, it works for a lot of different builds. So we got skill damage, armor regen, protection from elites. The holster is not quite perfect, but it's our second piece of Empress. It's got skill damage, it's got crit chance. I'd rather armor regen be there. I just didn't have it, didn't want to delay this. So that is what it is. And here's our third piece, skill damage, armor regen, and skill tier. And as you can see, I tried rolling armor on this and then I backed out of it. It's too much armor. So the Murakami knee pads, now I chose to have armor regen and armor on this, but if you don't have this particular pair of Murakami knee pads, then go with ones that have skill damage. And those were just for sale, I think, 2 weeks ago. So you probably have those. And run a skill tier here, and then you can put your armor somewhere else. Okay, so if you don't have this one, just run skill damage and skill tier there, and then put armor on one of your other pieces, and it'll be the same thing. So, see, look at the skill damage. It's back to 108. Do you see that, guys? Skill damage 108. And for earlier, we're saying 75,000, and I don't know why. But it's just weird. I don't know, it's weird, but it's 108. 67,000 for the turret. And then looking at the stats, nothing special on crits or anything like that. But the armor regen reads at 46,000. Okay. And then Bloodsucker is going to be stacking on top of that. So let's get into some. Oh, and don't forget, real quick, just to mention it, I am running Technician for that extra skill tier and damage to robotics. It's all helpful. Cool. So that's the build, that's the build. Let's see it in action. So, and so just so you know, so what's the difference between this one is like the DPS is going to be slower, right? The time to kill is going to be slower. So it's shredding, it hits hard, but it is not as hard as negotiator's build, right? So 108,000 on that turret. And so we are running glass cannon, but just keep that in mind. And then, so and we're also running less armor because we need those skill tiers. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you're not going to get as much bonus armor like the negotiators did. If that makes sense. So negotiators, had that triple bonus armor happening basically because you were spreading the damage to 2 additional targets beyond the one that you're targeting. So it's just going to work a little bit different. Just keep that in mind. But it's still a really nice synergy going on. But what I really like, so the synergy is just different. Look at that bonus armor. So, and again, the tanks don't give you bonus armor, so we'll see more bonus armor happening beyond the tanks. But what I want you to focus on is basically, I'll take damage, and then my armor regen is always working. It is always on that armor regen, right? And then on top of that, what's going to happen is then I'm going to get the bonus armor on kill to protect the armor regen. So the bonus armor essentially makes the armor regen a lot stronger. Yeah, Randy goes, so evidently. Now your numbers change depending on where you're standing in the White House. That goes for you and your other players. Totally, man. And like, but what I can't figure out is why the damage went down from 108 to 75,000. I mean, that's 30, what is that, 35,000? You know? I mean, that's 25, 33,000 basically. Why would it drop by 33,000? What's that about? I mean, what? I can see it going up. Maybe you're standing next to another non-grouped player that's giving you a buff from maybe their specialization or something like that. But go down by 25. What's that about? It's acting like, and so that's really confusing for me, right? Because I'm creating a build. I'm like, oh man, my turrets. Like I like my turrets. Like the perfect place is like basically anywhere over 90,000. If my turret is over 90,000, I'm happy. I'm happy. You know, of course you can get it to 125, 150, whatever. But like as long as it's over 100,000, then I can solo legendary. As long as I got some girth happening out of the assault rifle. Yeah, totally, Jasper. You can also put on the sidearm. But when I'm doing the builds, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I was running the orbit. So let me show you here real quick. Like when I was showing you the build, I'm running the orbit. So that way the additional skill tier doesn't conflict with the data I'm putting out. But I do have the card, which is what you're referring to. So if I run the card, then it looks like I got an additional skill tier, and then it goes up to 118,000. You see that? So that gives me 10,000 more. But I was running, I put on the orbit during build showcases, so that way the data is true, and we're at 108,000. Really good point though, Jasper. Really good point. Jasper knows what's up. TDI card, yo. That's actually the best secondary weapon for this build too. But you know, and if you guys wonder, I sometimes don't bring those up because just because I hardly use them. Like if I was using them a lot, then I would. If it was part of the build strategy, then I'll mention the second weapon. Like I mentioned on this one that I do use the test subject. You'll see me use the test subject. Blazing 187. So Blazing 187. So I like your name. Look at that bonus armor, yo. So I like your name because I'm from Portland and we got the Trailblazers, the Blazers. So your name makes me think of our home team. But where are you from, Blazin? Are you Cali? Are you a Cali boy? For those of you just joining the stream, be sure you hit that like button, smash it hard, and sub. Do sub. Subbing is still required. Subbing is a requirement. If you are hearing this message, subbing is required. If you have not subbed, please do so now. Please be kind to your YouTube streamers and your Twitch streamers, and sub on YouTube, and follow us on Twitch. And fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Actually, this build goes pretty smooth. This build is smooth. This is easy peasy, guys. This is really easy. This is really easy. I'm not doing anything special here, you know what I mean? It's just holding my ground. But look at that bonus armor. That's nice. That's nice little bonus armor right there happening. Lets you get out cover a little bit, you know? But I am playing, this is more of a hold your ground build. This isn't a run around, ATL, what up, Blazin'? And so this isn't a run around and, you know, be crazy kind of build. If we were gonna do that, we'd be running the Memento, you know? But this is more of a hold your ground kind of build. So it's just like Negotiator. So they're in sync that way. This is find a good piece of cover, plant it, and then hold your ground. So keep that in mind, all right? If you're gonna get out of cover, I think you're, and run around, then you're better off using the Memento. But I know a lot of you guys don't like using the Memento in group play scenarios, and so this is a good build for you. No Mementos required. But kills are required, so you gotta get kills. So it can be just as competitive that way, right? Because you have to get kills to get that bonus armor. So, all right, we got another member on Texas Players Club, Jasper S. Join the club. What up, Jasper? Welcome, True Bandidos. Welcome to the True Bandidos. Jasper, I think you were here when I was saying, you know, how to access content for members only. But I'm gonna drop the links just for you anyways, in case you didn't catch that stuff. But that first link will take you just to the homepage on my YouTube channel. But what I want you to know when you go there is there's a members only playlist right at the top. And that's got that those secret builds, those classified builds. It's a library, basically, members only content. And so definitely check that out. There's some hot new builds. That just reminds me, guys, for those of you that are in the Players Club and that just joined, I just released a really hot new classified build. The link is in the description area of this video, but again, you can just follow the link I dropped in the feed as well. That will take you to my YouTube homepage where you can get access with the members only playlist. But anyways, it's called Red Foundry, so that's what you're looking for, Red Foundry, and it is all based on high time to kill, or fast time to kill, top tier fast time to kill, top tier fast time to heal. As a matter of fact, why don't we take a nice little break from this gameplay footage and let me show you what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you why you're here.
This is all about time.
Time gives legitimacy to its existence. Time is the only true unit of measure. It gives proof to the existence of matter. Without time, we don't exist.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice, tumbling down the rabbit hole.
All the explanation you need.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Time is the only true unit of measure.
Unfortunately, no one can be told.
Speed up the image infinitely. Disappears. So what proof do we have of its existence? Time gives legitimacy.
Watch this, watch the heels. Watch the heels.
Without time, we don't exist.
He hasn't taken the pill.
What? There's no time.
I know. He's having a moment.
Come on. It'll be fun. I promise.
Yup, it'll be super fun, yo. So that's the new classified build. That's a little sneak peek of the cinematics on the intro. But I do show some key gameplay footage there, and it's basically fast time to kill, top tier fast time to kill, top tier fast time to heal, and that's what that build's about. So for those of you that just joined the Players Club, again, just head over to follow that link or look in the description area below in this video, in this live stream, and you will get a link directly to that new classified build. And of course, if you're not in Players Club, then you need to join. If you didn't know, classified builds are secret builds made just for Tux's Players Club. And these are really extra builds I make as a thank you, because you guys are supporting me and the channel and therefore the entire community. So I put a little extra workout in and make sure I get you guys some really good builds. And I spend a lot of time tailoring these. Make sure they're top tier. So you can tap into these secret builds and get access today and support me in the cause just by making sure you hit that join button below. And I'll pop that in the feed. Also, if you're watching this on the replay, join buttons are in the description area. All right, so yeah, so this build is, pretty straightforward. I'm gonna play a little bit farther than I did with the negotiators build, so you'll see that it works really well. But really strong skills. Again, that 108,000, I should say, so the turret is hitting at 108,000 base skill damage, okay? So we got glass cannon on top of that. We got 60% more damage thanks to the capacitor on top of that. All right, and then we got Bloodsucker on the backpack, which is giving us a defense. But we are playing from cover, so the Bloodsucker is, again, just shielding our armor regen, which is allowing us to put out more damage. Xander, all right, man, you're working on that build. That's cool. The red foundry. So guys, I just also wanted to mention that we did, I did take a look at all the vendors and they're all kind of crap this week. So nothing, we did, you know, the last 2 weeks we got pretty lucky. We got some really actually key, I would say very key pieces, and I hope you took advantage of those. I did make announcements, so hopefully you guys have your notifications turned on. If you don't, please make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because I give you build shopping lists, okay? And so, but if you're not subscribed, you're probably missing out on those. But last week we had a really rare piece of the death grips for sale and one of the DZ vendors, and it had skill damage, which allowed you to roll a skill tier on it. And so it was perfect because you could buy, if you don't have any death grips, you could buy 2 and run 1 for crits and then run 1 for skills. So really good piece. And then the week before that, we had that really clutch piece of Murakami Empress Guard knee pads. So look at that nice little bonus armor coming in, guys. It gives you a little confidence here. Move around a little bit. Anyway, so yeah. So, but this week, it doesn't look like we have anything good, so boo. They can't all be winners. Apparently, can't all be winners. Also, I am working on the next classified build, actually. I'm gonna do a little bit of farming today. I just want it to be perfect. And I haven't, didn't get a lot of farming in over the weekend. So I'm going to do a little farming tonight and hopefully get just the perfect chess piece is what I'm basically looking for. Almost there. Kudos from Twitch on the Twitch side says, question Tux, favorite exotic gear and weapon. Thanks for the shout, Skeletor, to get my attention. I would say, well, the gun is easy. The gun is easy. I would say my favorite exotic weapon in the game is the Regulus pistol. She is beautiful. You guys have this beast? You know what I'm talking about? Let me take this off real quick. So this bad boy. Look at her. Isn't she a beaut? Anyways, that talent, Regicide, first of all, it's the strongest pistol in the game, hands down. It's not shown strong because again, I don't have this equipped to the right build or setup and the specializations, but it's something like 650 or 700,000 base weapon damage on a red build. Anyways, but Regicide, it's all about that. So headshot kills create this 5-meter explosion, dealing 400% weapon damage and applying bleed to all enemies on hit. Extremely unique and highly useful. And you guys know that I love my run and gun headshot builds. You know, like the 1886, the Virginian, obviously this Regulus, the Mantis. Those are all White Death. Those are all builds that I love, and you can use this one as well. I actually don't do a lot of build videos for the Regulus because I know you guys don't. Many players don't have this pistol, so I don't want to tease you. Go 30. What's going on, man? Yeah, but she's beautiful. So I don't know if you guys see that super chat. I mean, when somebody joins a players club, then you'll see like 2 golden Reguluses come up there. They're actually 2 golden Reguluses. I made them solid gold, but that's what's in the animation. And so that's how much I love the gun and made the animation. As far as gear, I mean, it's probably going to be no surprise that the Memento is probably my favorite exotic gear piece. Originally, so you know, like when it came out with Ridge Race Pride, and I ran Ridge Race Pride a lot more at first, a lot more. I made really good use out of it with some protection from elites builds and SMGs, and just kind of like turning yourself into a god, basically. But in the long run, the Memento ended up winning out. It's the best for me, so. But that's probably no surprise, is it? Actually, I feel like I was one of the originals to fall in love with Sawyer's knee pads. I feel like those were slept on for a long time. I was like, that 30% weapon damage is a beast. That's awesome, because you also get an armor core with it, so it's like the Memento in a lot of ways, right? Look at the knee pads as if they had basically 1 armor core and 2 weapon damage cores. That's basically what the Sawyer's knee pads are, right? Xander asks, Tux, when you farm, what build do you use on the reg? Actually, I don't. I probably play a little bit different than you guys because I'm always creating a build for the community. I try to use my time efficiently. So I'm actually testing a new build while I'm farming for another build. Does that make sense? And so that way I'm kind of making use of my time, and I can always, and that's how you guys probably go like, Tux, how are you pumping out so many builds all the time? You must never sleep. No, I just use my time really efficiently, you know? So so like with this Bloodsucker build, you know, like I'll probably be running these Bloodsucker builds while I'm farming for the next classified build. I just need a chest piece. Or I just got a challenge build from Discord, so I might slap something together and work through that one. So, oh, that reminds me, guys. Hey, if you got challenge builds, let me know. Drop them here in the comments, in the chat feed, or on Discord. So, love challenge builds or just challenges. Like, hey, Tux, run to the quad, streak to the quad, and is naked or something like that. You know, whatever your challenge is, throw it down. Good question though, Xander. But yeah, so I don't have it. But like, if you were to ask me, if I twist that question and say, hey Tux, what do you say is your most efficient build for farming? I'll tell you, it's my 3-piece aces build. 3-piece aces mantis build. So if you guys seen that one, you should check it out. It's pretty straightforward. It's a classic. It's basically, a sniper build that has lasted the test of time, and it just, talk about holding your ground. You can stand in one place and clear the entire battlefield and killing everything in sight with a single bullet using the Mantis. And yes, the Mantis, basically hands down, no competition, is better than the Nemesis. What do you guys think about that statement? The Mantis is hands down, no competition, better than the Nemesis. No, I didn't say stronger. I said better. The only thing the Nemesis brings you is high power, but it also brings a lot of negative with it. But the Mantis brings you infinite skills with no cooldowns for your look at that bonus armor, by the way, for your decoy. It also highlights weak points in heads, so you can see in fog and at distance in the darkness. The Mantis doesn't do that. So when it's foggy outside or it's raining really heavy and you can see those heads and you can snipe fools that can't see you. Look at that bonus armor. Woo! Woo! Did you see that bonus armor? That's crazy. That's a skill bonus armor. That's why it's crazy. That's what, it's in the tank build. This is skills. So watch this here. So I'm playing it a little bit differently. So negotiators, I played it a lot deeper, but because we got 2 skills to aggro for us, I can play a lot closer. And this is where the bonus armor is clutch, yo. This is where the bonus armor makes a lot of sense. Look at that bonus armor stacking up, right? So when I get hit by drones, which I inevitably will, then that bonus armor is gonna protect my real armor, and then if I do take any damage, my armor regen is gonna be protected by the bonus armor. So yeah, but even if you don't take any damage, it gives you confidence, right? It gives you confidence to poke out of cover and to lay down some heavier fire than you normally would, because you got shields. And here it comes, boom! Here comes that those annoying drones. So you inevitably get hit by drones. So we got a little bonus armor. Look at that, double bonus armor. We got 2 kills in there, and then so I don't have to use a medkit. Look at my armor regen kicking in as a bonus armor. That's a perfect use case. That's perfect. It allows me to stay in the fight instead of medkitting up, right? The armor regen is kicked in. So by the time I get this kill, I'm back to full armor, and I got, I don't know, what is that, 3 million in armor or some shit? You know what I'm saying. You guys know, what's up. Let's see what Jasper's throwing down for us. My go-to skill build: Technician, 3 Emperors, 2 Hannah, 1 Wyvern, and all skill haste and skill damage. Shooting and test subject pumps up my turret over to an interim. Yeah, that's nice, bro. That's nice. I've decided a long time ago, Jasper, that's a good build, classic, that skill haste is a waste. So I do whatever I can to not put skill haste, because these are ballistic skills and the cooldowns on them range between, you know, 18 seconds and 22 seconds depending on your build. And remember, like, you got skill efficiency and that's not showing up as skill haste, but you got that going. So especially when you're running the memento, on a skill build, do not put skill haste or duration on your build. Minimize all that, because you just absolutely don't need it. Because remember, all those trophy stacks are going to give you 30% skill efficiency, which is insane. Insane. Slaughter build, guys. Slaughter build. Hey, yeah, Corey, I don't see a skull next to your name, bro. You might have you been, did you sign up a long time ago and maybe you expired or something like that? Your payment expired, but yeah. So Corey, if you just look in the chat, like all those other folks with skulls next to their name, red, black, or gray, or whatever, those are Players Club members. That means they are members. But Corey, if you were, this happens many times, but like, you know, the Players Club renews at 30 days, right? So your card expired or something like that, you know. So just check that out. But here's a link. I'll drop a link in the feed. That's the easiest way. Also, guys, if you're looking to upgrade your membership in the Players Club, feel free to reach out, because YouTube kind of makes it confusing to up your membership. Skeletor, thanks for helping out, brother. On the Twitch side, he's reminding us, folks, to hit that follow button. Also, if you're at Twitch, I'd appreciate the subscribe on the YouTube side of things as well. But here's the Twitch follow for all you guys on the the YouTube side. Defacio BR, what's going on, brother? Am I saying your name right? Defacio. That sounds Portuguese as well. Are you from Brazil? Defacio, or is that Italian? I like it, whatever it is. I'm trying to figure out how to say it.
You can't be any geek off the street.
There you go, bro.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Welcome, Corey B. Join the club. What's up? Look at those Reguluses he pulled out. Double Reguluses. All gold. Appreciate you, Corey, man. Welcome, Corey. Taxation support. Oh, yeah. So it looks like you had to renew, Corey. That's all it was. Because you have a black skull, that means you're greater than 1 month. That's for sure. So if you're a gray skull, that means you're new. If you're a black skull, I think that's level 2, which means you're greater than 1 month. And then they change colors the more senior you are. Appreciate your continued support, Corey. I realize you're not new. So that's Taxational Supporter. You have to be at least a True Bandido to get the classified builds. But Taxational Supporter does get you into the members only content playlist. Sorry if that's confusing. So I changed my skills to take out those dogs just for the F of it, and it was probably a bad idea. Just so you know. Just stick with the turret and the drone. For this setup, guys, if you're wondering, the test subject is, I really like the test subject. It's got more rounds in the mag, so it's less reloading. But also, anytime you're not 6 skill tiers, then the test subject is a reasonable alternative. If you're 6 skill tiers, then the capacitor usually wins. But in this case, we are 5 skill tiers. So we're better off, not better off, but it makes it kind of a toss-up between, it really does make it a toss-up between the capacitor and the test subject. So basically, the test subject is probably going to be a little bit stronger on the gun side, the primary weapon side, but the capacitor is definitely a lot stronger on the skill side. That's why it's sort of a toss-up. Sort of like, what do you want? Now, and certain areas, you'll see me switch to the capacitor. I mean, the test subject. That's coming up soon. So. Ooh, Blackman. Good question, man. I was talking about that this weekend. So Blackman asks this question. How do you feel about the Division channels that are getting flack about pushing that one sponsor that makes you pay like $150 for exotics? I don't remember the sponsor. The sponsor, I'm not going to say who the sponsor is because I'm not being paid by that sponsor. So if I mention the sponsor's actual name, then I would be promoting them. So I'm not going to, so there's more than just one, just so you know, but there are sites out there. They're called, I'm drawing the name, but the classification, but the boosting. There's boosting sites out there, right? And that pay you, or that you have to pay. You don't have to pay, but you can elect to pay them so that you can get an exotic that is hard to get, as an example, right? And in this game, most people will hire these booster websites to get the Eagle Bearer, okay? And now I'm gonna give my fair and honest opinion on this, guys, and of course I am. But like just to say it, like I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon, right? Like. Here's the deal. I think we're all grown-ups here on this game, and that is true. There are no kids that play this game, okay? There's no kids that play this game. I mean, when's the last time you've run into a kid in this game? Like hardly ever, right? So the truth is like people that pay $179 for an Eagle Bearer, they know what the F they're doing, and this is what they have decided. They've decided that their time is more valuable than the cost of that $180. And I could see that. Think about all the time that it takes to learn the raids and go in there and have somebody carry you and, you know, whatever. You have to get in line, you have to join somebody's Discord, you have to join a clan. Usually you don't have to join a clan, but that's easier if you do. But you have to get in line for somebody to carry you. You have to put on the right build. They're gonna critique you. It's time and energy. And like, if you don't want to go through that, but you really want the Eagle Bearer, $180 is actually probably a good deal. Now, I'm not encouraging you to do that. I'm just saying, like, from a neutral perspective. All right, from a neutral perspective. But so I can see, because I consider my time really valuable, you know, and I got time to play this game. But if I didn't, and I had money to spend, if $180 wasn't a big deal to me, then I'd maybe be like, well, shit, it's a lot of, and you guys know, those of you guys that raid on the regular, I mean, you spend hours in there, hours. A minimum time to do a raid is probably about, let's just be realistic, on average. We're not talking speedrunners, guys. We're talking about like 45 minutes when you say that's reasonable, right? And that's fucking efficient. Right, but if you're carrying people, what up, Jock, Mr. Heavy? Welcome.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
To the Players Club. You joined the club. What up? Appreciate that, man. I hope you've been getting the links too, so that you can get down with us. Also on Discord, guys. Just as a reminder, if you're in the Players Club, I invite you over to Discord because that we have members-only channels. And for example, a Texas Players Club. Threw down a Pimp My Build. We got a Pimp My Build for members only. And so I'm going to work on that, as a matter of fact, this week. So there's lots of things that we can hook up and do as part of the Players Club. So appreciate your support, Jock, man. Really do. Thank you for supporting me in the channel and the cause, for sure. But that's a really good question. So, Blade, who was that asked that? Blackman. Appreciate your compliment, too, on the great content, by the way. Thanks, man. But here's the deal. So a video came out, and you guys probably all saw it, by a large Division 2 streamer, okay? Tammy Gooch, appreciate you, man. Welcome to the Players Club. You'll get that fun. Look at those beautiful golden Reguluses.
Geek off the
Thanks
street.
for showing up
with the
and
steel,
supporting
if you know
us
what I mean.
and the cause, man. Woo! Welcome to the Players Club, man. Oh, man, this is your second account. Whoa, all right, man. You're a double member. Appreciate that, Jock. That's a supporter. So Blackman. Okay, the point of that video is he threw down the gauntlet. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Let me hold to this for a second, guys. All right. So let me hold to this. I'm gonna put the build on here for a sec. So for those of you that are jumping in, you need to check this out. This is what I think, yo. Okay, this is what I think is happening. So this site, this what do you call it? This booster site has been around forever. As far as I've been playing this game forever, and this booster site has always been there as far as I know. So why now? I think that content creator, who's large, probably the largest Division 2 content creator in the game, he's picking a fight with the second largest content creator in the game. He's starting a fight with them. And I've been playing this game long enough, and both of those guys have been creating content way before on Division 2, way before I did, okay, before I even started my channel, all right? And so I was watching both of those guys' videos even way before I started my channel, but they've had arguments before, like these video arguments before, where one was calling out the other on that they were testing kinetic momentum incorrectly, and the other one was saying they were having this glass cannon kinetic momentum argument, and they were calling each other out without actually saying each other's names, and so they were kind of arguing. I was like, oh, look at these guys, you know. And I feel like one guy has more of an ego than the other one. So, but I believe that this has nothing to do with the booster site. I believe that video went out to as a fuck you to the other content creator, flat out, because the other content creator is using that promoting that booster site. And so the content creator, the big content creator that put up the video saying this is a scam, it's just like, he's either having a hard time putting out new content, which, you know, I've been following that guy for a long time, and no judgments or anything like that, but I do believe he's struggling with fresh content and trying to come up with things to do. And so he tends to recycle content, and he's one of my favorites. So again, like, I'm not dogging him or anything like that, but I did notice that his content really dropped off from, you know, great content to kind of like recycled subpar content. And I get it, it's tough. The game is hard to come up with content for, but he's flat out picking a fight with that other guy. There's just no question about it. So either he's out of, you know, kind of ideas, and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna bring up this one, but it's been around forever. Why now? Right? The reason why now is because I feel like this other guy who he's got beef with has recently, and what I mean by recently, like 2 or 3 months, within the last 3 months, that other large, probably the second largest Division 2 content creator, basically, is started to use that promotional boosting site, and where he wasn't doing that before. And that's why this other guy, the other guy who put out the video, was like, yes, I got a free shot to kick him in the nuts. And that's, in my opinion, that's exactly what it's about, you know? Now, from there, I think like, if I think like if he was in the chat or if whatever, it's, you know, that's completely deniable, right? You can be like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Moral horse, I'm on my moral pedestal, you know, or whatever. But I also, just to be honest with you, I thought that was, as a Division 2 content creator to another Division 2 content creator, I thought that was very disrespectful to your fellow content creators. You could have your opinions like that, but he straight out called him out. Now, there's another content creator that uses that site a lot, probably the original guy, and you all know who I'm talking about. And I think that content creator is basically not good for the community. Who the other content creator is not as big, but he's been creating videos for probably 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 years actually, for the Division 2. And you know, he's our brother from the Eastern Bloc, if you know what I'm talking about. But he's not very healthy. He's the one that exploits bugs and then does a lot of clickbait.
You can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel,
Chris
if you know what I mean.
Join the club. Welcome, Chris. True Bandido. Welcome, brother. I'm glad I caught you. Glad you caught me too. Welcome to the Players Club. Appreciate the support, man. Keeping it real here. We're talking about real shit today, but these guys, so I look at it like, whether they're my favorite streamers or not, guys, like, or content creators, I look at them as like, they're all my brothers, you know what I mean? Like, and the reason why it was really disappointing to see that video is because it's not about the booster side. It has nothing to do with that. You have your opinion about it, that's great, or whatever, but the fact is that he's calling out, he's creating division Division and the Division 2 in a time where we need to be supporting and coming together. You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't he just reach out to those other content creators and be like, hey man, I think that site's really bad for the community. We shouldn't be supporting that. What do you think about, you know, why doesn't he reach out and say, hey man, I can help you get a better brand deal? You know what I mean? So I'm sorry, but I think that the guy who made the video and said Division scam that was toxic. That was toxic. And, but you know, and I'm not trying to pick a fight or anything like that because I like that streamer. I think that he was like probably my #1 Division streamer from the get-go. You know what I mean? And so I'm a big fan. And so I just think that that was a toxic move. But it was, for me, knowing the history of the Division 2 and YouTube content, I know that he's got beef with the guy who he didn't call out directly, but indirectly. I know who that video was made for, and he's got beef with that guy. And I know that's what it's about, but I just think it was sort of sad because you guys, we're really struggling in the Division 2 right now with new content and energy and trying to keep it positive. And that was just really negative. You know what I mean? And I get it. It comes, you know, I could do that too. You know what I mean? I could put out a video and be like, hey, this is a scam and I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for you, but it's clickbaity. It was sort of unnecessary to damage another YouTuber's livelihood, right? I mean, the other guy is just trying to make money. I mean, so it's just like, whether you believe in the site or not, man, like it's there, and people have actually used that booster site and are satisfied with their purchase, whether you believe it, like it or not. Whether you like it or not, people are satisfied with their $180 purchase Eagle Bearer. They're happy about that. There are guys, I get it, man. How many of you guys consider yourselves solo players? I'm a solo player, man. I'm in a clan. I got multiple Tux clans, but I'm a solo player at heart. You know, I like to listen to my jams. I like to play the game. I don't always feel like getting on comms and talking about random stuff all the time. You know what I mean? I want to get in the zone because, you know, a lot of people, they go to work and they come home, or they got a busy family, busy life, whatever. And when they play the game, they want to escape. And that's a lot of people want to escape this game. You know what I mean? And so they don't join the Division 2 so that they can raid. You know how many people raid in this game? Not very many. It's a small percentage. You know? It's like right there with like PvP Dark Zone. It's like that few people. It's like really small percentage. You know? So, you know, so I get it, but I really want the Eagle Bearer. I really want the Eagle Bearer, but I don't want to join the clan. I don't want the hassle of, you know, joining some Discord, some clan so that I can get a carry. And then, you know, because I'm just going to bail on those people. I'm going to bail on you, man. I'm going to get my Eagle Bearing and be like, peace out, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a solo player. You know, appreciate, you know, and so it's just like, you know, and so it's just like, so I think that there's a lot of people that are solo players that really want that gun, and they say, I'm never going to get it because I'm going to never join the clan and I'm never going to raid. I know there's a lot of people in this chat feed that say that. But anyways, so whether you prove the service is there, and I don't think it's a scam because I have visually seen people comment that they have used that site. Because, by the way, this isn't the first discrediting video that's gone on YouTube saying that, talking shit about that site. So, you know, it's been done before, of course. And so that's why I'm saying, why is he talking about this now? But, and in those feeds, people say, oh, I've used that site. In the chat feed, if you look at the chat comments, a lot of people say, oh, I've used it and I got mine, you know. But would I pay $180 for an Eagle Bearer? Absolutely not. You know, I wouldn't. But I got 2 Eagle Bears. So maybe I'm coming from that place. You know what I mean? I've gotten 3 or 4 or 5 Eagle Bears over my time, you know, whatever it was. But, you know, and I think the gun sucks, and I know that, so I would definitely not do it. I think the Eagle Bear sucks. But the Regulus is king, yo. I'd probably pay $180 for a Regulus. That gun is king. Actually, the Regulus is the hardest gun to get in the game. You not only got to beat Iron Horse, then you got to complete several quests, and then you got to beat the Iron Horse again, and then you got to get a raid exclusive gear collected or donated to you. You know what I mean? So that's actually the hardest gun to get in the game. Now it's guaranteed as long as you do the progressions, where I get that the Eagle Bearer, you could play 100 times and never get it. But Yeah, so anyways, I guess my moral of the story, I think that was a really good question that you asked, Blattman. But, and I like everybody, and like I said, I consider all YouTube Division 2 content creators my brothers, and so I wouldn't want to directly call anybody out like that. I just felt like, especially now, guys, like, man, we need to be coming together, not creating division in the division. What do you think? You know what I mean? That sucks right now. This is like, this game has already got some slack on the negative side going for it because of the devs not hitting us up with some stuff, right? I mean, we're due for another annex too, right? Like, we need news. We got nothing. I mean, that's just like, keep it positive, man. Keep it positive. So I guess I just hope, that anything that I just said, I hope it didn't come out as negative, because it's really, really, really important to me that we maintain a positive environment here, you know? So if anything sounded negative, I apologize for that, because I don't want it to be, and so I'm totally interpreting things too, so keep that in mind. So me saying like he's picking a fight with another content creator, that's not facts. That is my opinion. Definitely not facts, you know? And both content creators I respect as content creators. You know, I don't know them personally. So, you know what I mean? So I'm not picking a side either and who's right or who's wrong. But my only thing is, it's like, let's keep it positive. Let's keep the environment positive. Whether you think that site's a scam or not, but, you know, was it necessary to call out the other Division 2 guys that are promoting it? Because maybe they don't think it's a scam, right? I mean, and so I think that it would have been better off to go directly to that content creator and be like, in a positive way, it doesn't have to be negative, and say, hey man, I think that site, you know, is not a good thing for the community, and this is why. You know, but because I'm a big YouTuber with several 100,000 subscribers, let me help you get a brand deal. Why wasn't he willing to do that? Why can't he do that? What's so hard about that? Why can't you help your brother Division 2 content creator? Why does it have to be a competitive environment? It doesn't. Do you think I own you guys? Do I own my community? Do I own you? How many of you guys only watch TuxedoBandido? You know, I bet you none, right? I bet you 0% of you watch only TuxedoBandido. And if you do, if you are only watching TuxedoBandido, then I love you. I guess you're my #1 fan. But the reality is that I know you guys watch other content creators, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Because we have different perspectives, different styles, and you're gonna take that and you're gonna make something out of it, right? And so, I like that. I think that's the way it should be, right? And I think, unfortunately, because we don't have enough Division 2 content creators, that we have sometimes the content creators that put out negative vibes and negative stuff, and you watch them anyways because there's nobody else out there. You're like, okay, I can only watch so much TuxedoBandido. I want to spread my visual time to other guys too, right? I get that, like, right? And so, but it's just like, you know, and then there's some toxic streamers out there, and there really are, and you watch them too just because it's like, well, you know, nobody else put out a video today, so I'm gonna watch his shit. You know what I mean? I get that. That's me. I'm just like you guys. I go to YouTube every day and see who put out a video, and you know, and I'm just like, wow, there's only a couple of YouTubers that are really putting shit out. There's only a few. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah. Skeletor, I hear you, brother, man. It's not reasonable. I get it. It's not reasonable. But for somebody else, it's like, you know, who wants to play solo and whatever, maybe they think it's reasonable, you know? And so I try putting myself in other people's shoes, you know, and be like, yeah, well, I can see how, you know, you can get into a position where you'd rather pay for a weapon than grind it out, you know? But I like the challenge too, personally, but I could just see it, but, you know, whatever. Would we be better off with the site? I don't think it'd matter. If you don't like the website, then just don't use it. I think that's the end of it, right? Isn't that as far as it goes for you? Joseph White says, didn't Yannick say Annex was on hold too? I didn't hear that. I mean, I thought we were just on a break for the holidays, but I felt like we should have been. Maybe he did. Maybe I missed that little bullet point. I'll have to double check on that. Jock Mr. Heavy says, why can't I view your classified builds on this account? It might have to do with what member level you picked up. Like if Jock, you have to be at least a True Bandido member. And so the account, this YouTube can't determine between your two accounts. So like if you're a True Bandido on one of them and a Tuxedo supporter on the other, then it doesn't know that your accounts are related. That might be the dealio. Marvel Cuphead. Cuphead. Is that your superhero name, Marvel? Marvel Cuphead? I like Cuphead as a name. It's like beer helmet. Hey, if you feel like buying me a cup of Joe, dropping links to that. Appreciate the support. Keep the dream alive. Frank Harvey says, you're the only one I joined, though. Oh, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Undertaker N says, don't apologize, Tux. You've got nothing to apologize for. You can formulate your opinions, which the community appreciates and we will understand. No, totally. I just don't want to get on a high horse here. You know what I mean? Because we are in a, as YouTubers, we are in a position of influence, you know? And the influence that I want to throw down, because I have a promise to you guys. I have a promise, right? I am here to inform. I'm here to entertain. So inform, entertain, inspire. So those are my 3 pillars. And so I want to stick to my promise. That's my promise to you. That in every video I put down, that is going to come out of it. Information, entertainment, and I'm going to inspire you, right? And so what I'm trying to inspire is positivity in that statement, right? So that's what, so that's why, you know, I want to make sure that I'm not overweighing on one item or make it sound like I'm picking sides, or I definitely don't want to come across negative, because I'm trying not to be, I'm not just trying not to be negative, I'm not being negative. So I don't want those words to sound negative and then make, you know, is that blah, 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 blah. That sounds kind of confusing, but that's what the apology is about. Like, I'm not trying to come off negative here. I'm trying to come off inspirational, and the inspiration is to be to create a positive community. I need your guys' help to do that, you know. And so when those videos come out, guys, like about, you know, basically somebody creating drama, you know, just be careful how you participate. You know what I mean? Because it's really easy on the internet. Nobody knows who you are. It's just a fake name. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, if people, you know, it's really easy to jump on there and be like, yeah, fuck that other content creator, man, throwing down that booster website, you know, communists suck, man. You know what I mean? It's really easy to get sucked down that rabbit hole into negativity, you know what I mean? And then just, but think about that other content creator. He's just like, oh man, I'm just trying to create a living, and I don't think the website is so bad. I'm sorry, like, if you don't like it, but you know, some people like it and have had good experiences with it. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. Like, you know, it's not toxic. You know what I mean? So just put your shoes on the other content creator, and then if he's like,
you can't be any geek off
you know
the
what I mean?
street.
So that's
gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
I think that, you know, how you can get sucked into those little drama dealios. Joseph White, welcome. True Bandido, what? Appreciate you, man. Rock, you rock. Where are you from, Joseph? Hey, by the way, like, I try to get you guys' time zone, so you know, if you're joining the stream and you know, now or in the future, you know, just let us know where you're hollering from. And time zones are important for me because, like, actually today I started to stream around 3:15, which is a newer hour, so I try to mix it up, right? So I do a lot of morning streams like around 9 to 11 a.m. Start times, and then I do evening streams, right? And so so it was important for me today to get one that was like mid-afternoon, so that I can catch you East Coast boys or those around the world that this time zone fits. So it also helps me plan in the future, knowing where you guys are from, what part of the world. So appreciate you supporting me, Joseph White, and the boys, and the rest of the boys. Basically, you're supporting the community. So just so you know, joining Texas Players Club is like supporting the community, because that's what I aim to do, is support you guys, make sure that you you know. So that's what it is. When I going back to that, like, this ties when I'm saying here to Joseph is that when I'm saying inspire positivity, I'm saying like for the good of the game, not just for like morals and ethics and, you know, not it's not all fluffy business. I'm talking about like so that we can fucking have fun, so we can rock and roll in this game and create builds and like, you know, and so people that come here and share their builds, go to my Discord and share their builds. You guys got to check out my Discord, man. It's a whole place full of positive people. All right, Atlantic Time in Canada. Stiflers. Stifler, RZA. All right. It's the coolest last name ever, by the way. If that's your last name, Stifler, RZA. Stiflers. What up, Base Connor? Man, good to see you here, by the way. Anubis. Cuphead is such a good game. Oh, that's a game. Cuphead's a game. I didn't realize that. Hey, by the way, we're trying to grow our Twitch side, so make sure you guys join me on Twitch. I'd really appreciate that. We will have the subscribe button up on Twitch, hopefully by the end of the week, but right now we are looking for followers. So make sure you head over there and just hit the follow button. It's pretty easy to do. Black John Wick, I never finished my pinprick build. Really good question and great memory, by the way. I just don't feel like actually First Blood was I used to love it. Like actually when I started this game, I was really into snipers, and that's because I was coming from Battlefield 4. And so I really got into sniper builds and look at this. Okay, look at this. Look at this. This is it's a key moment. Look at this. This is survivability, guys. Right here. Look at this. I'm taking that full breadth of that turret right there. And we win that fight. Holy shit. Do you know what saved me there? Do you know what saved me there? Why we survived that? I'm gonna rewind it. Okay, so let me flip to the build because that was a key moment. And this is why you want to run protection from elites. That is exactly why you want to run protection from elites. It was just enough. So we got 39. Let's see here. We got 38%. I should have 39, but we got 38%. That was just enough protection from elites to keep us on our feet until we got our shit together, basically. You know what I'm saying? But look at that. And so my fuck up was, I think that I switched guns or something like that, but I screw up. Or no, it's the turret's not taking aggro. That's what it is. The turret's pointing somewhere else. That was the screw up there. The turret's marked on a different target, and then it turns around and it takes aggro. That protection from elites is what keeps me alive. It's not a lot of protection in elites. It's only 38%, but it was enough. And then I'm not taking the med kit. I canceled the med kit, and I decided just to let my armor regen go. So so pay attention to that. No med kit there. So my armor regen is look at it climb, and then the bonus armor. But that's why we run the protection from elites, for that exact moment. You know, little things like that. So, anyways. Yeah, so I was saying though that pinprick or First Blood used to be my favorite skill. I mean, talent for snipers, and then they came out with things like the Mantis, and then I just never looked back. But I think you were the one that asked me, or it was Xander, or somebody asked me what's my favorite build to farm, and I was saying that my 3-piece Aces Mantis build is by far my favorite build. So that's why. And then the other reason why is because I feel like, or I heard that pinprick was glitched out, and I haven't truly tested that to see if that's true, but I heard it was not proccing correctly. But, you know, I think it'd be cool to, and so the thing is, this is like, you know, I'm pretty good at hitting the head, so it's like, and oh, here's the real reason. Let me tell you this. I think the number one reason is that, the number one reason that I don't like pinprick is that I use Headhunter. And the talent First Blood doesn't proc Headhunter. So that first kill out of cover or from reload or whatever, like, I don't care if I'm getting headshot damage when I hit him on the chest. I want always, it's really important to me that I'm actually hitting the head. And so you basically get no benefit from hitting in the head, am I right? With pinprick, with First Blood, basically, you get no benefit from hitting the head. You get a benefit from hitting the chest or something, or the arm or the foot. It's gonna give you headshot damage there. And so but it doesn't proc Headhunter. And for my sniper builds, I always use Headhunter. I just really like that talent. AG, what's going on, bro? Joseph White says, yeah, Tux, I agree. The community is smaller, but dedicated. Totally true. Yeah, that's what we got. We got a bunch of hardcore banditos left. Yeah, hardcore division players, right? It is a rare drop, but actually it was for sale like maybe a month or two ago. All right, thanks for the super chat. Nevma, Sam, appreciate you, man. Oh, that's kind of you, Sammy Sam. Behind the scenes. Yeah, visualize ultrawide gaming knows what I'm talking about. He's like, hell yeah, for a headhunter with snipers. Yup. Hey guys, any of you looking to join a new clan? Because I know clans are unfortunately dying right now in this time of day and a lot of inactivity. But our clans are growing, and we're really making them a place to help support the community. You know, at a time where it's really difficult to sometimes, like, I guess this is what I'm trying to say, like, you know, I think the worst thing that can happen to the game is like when you're standing in front of Capitol building trying to match make on legendary and you sit there for an hour before you find somebody. I mean, that's a horrible experience, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that we are turning our clans into something that's just more than just raids, right? Like it's a place for the community. Raids are a big part of it, so I'm not discounting that. So raids are a big part of our clan. So, but it's not all we do. It's also about the community itself, the clan community, the platform community, Xbox community, PlayStation community, whatever. But it's important that you got homies that you can rely on to play with. You know what I mean? That if you're looking to legendary, or if you're looking to hardcore, or if you're looking to heroic, control point, or just kick it, whatever, raid, that you got people you can run with. You know what I mean? And so at times, there are times in this game where you can feel like the little lull where you're trying to matchmake a legendary or maybe in the summon, you're like, where the F is everybody? And it's like that, especially when there's no season events, like global events and stuff like that. You can feel the lull a little bit in matchmaking, but so anyway, so the clans, you know, are really important. So I invite you to clan up to prevent that type of negative experience also, but also just for the positive vibes, a good community, for raids, to group up, kick it, just hang out with positive peoples. But so if you want to hit up the clans, you can say, hey, I'm interested right here in the chat. You can also just head over to our Discord. Those links are being dropped throughout. The Discord is the best place. You can come. We have great communities over there kicking it. And if you're a build connoisseur, which you should be because of Division 2, if you're following my channel, you're probably a build connoisseur, or I've inadvertently turned you into one. Right? I've inadvertently turned you into one. And that's because, hey, I'm going to flip this back to the negotiators build, okay, real quick. So for those of you that join later, you can see. Let me pause this real quick. But yeah, so we flipped this. Let me flip this real quick and then we'll talk about it. Let's see. It's probably down here. There you go. Okay, so for those of you joining later, I want to give you a quick peek at this build. So this is the negotiators version of the Bloodsucker. So I promised you 2 Bloodsucker builds, and this is a Bloodsucker synergy build, okay? And so basically we're running negotiators so that we can get multiple kills at the same time, which is gonna kick in Bloodsucker, make Bloodsucker even more powerful because it requires a kill to get that bonus armor, and then it's kind of multiplicative like bonus armor, so we're going to multiply all that bonus armor even faster. And so you'll see that we'll have more bonus armor going for us with the negotiator build than what you saw before just now with the other skill version of this. Okay, so basically negotiators is going to give us lots of crit damage, okay, but basically it allows you to apply additional damage to marked targets, up to 3 total targets, right? So I got armor and crit damage here, armor, crit damage there, and then armor or weapon damage, crit damage, and then more armor, crit damage. So I crit it out. The chest, I'm running perfect glass cannon, all crits, headshot damage, which is awesome. I want that. So, but this is giving us a lot of burst damage, amp damage, okay, which is the best type of damage in this game, in my opinion, which perfectly syncs with Bloodsucker. So Bloodsucker requires a kill. That amp damage is going to ensure we get it quickly, and then we're going to stack all of that. And then Bloodsucker makes glass cannon not so glassy, and then we're spreading that additional amp damage to 2 more targets on top of the one that we're focusing on. So this is a solid build, guys. Now for the gun, I'm running the Police M4. You can run whatever you want here for assault rifles. But I got strained, okay? So that's giving me another 50% crit damage, and at 850 RPMs, it does sync up nicely at that RPM level. And so we got the 8x scope, which is giving me 30% headshot damage. It's actually part of my legendary solo strategy for negotiators, so I really like that. Crit chance and crit chance there, more rounds. And then we're using this shield. We're not actually using the shield to run it like a shield. We're using it just to peek around corners better. Okay, and that's why we're running the 8x scope. So the 8x scope with the Crusader shield allows you to right corner have a better, wider view. So you can shoot them and they can't shoot you, basically. And you'll see that. And then I'm using the turret basically just as a distractor. It's a decoy. I have Gunner, that's giving me 10% armor on kill. So we're running higher armor. We've got 1.5 million armor on this, so that way we can turn into a super tank just by getting kills, but have all the damage of a DPS. That's the point of this. So let's check out the gameplay. And so this is a hold your ground type build. So we're basically going to be finding our comfortable piece of cover and just holding it down, let all the enemies come to us. So the marks on the head are us spreading the damage. That's what those little red icons are. So yeah, so we got really good leaders in the clans too. A lot of dedicated folks. So I appreciate all you clan leaders out there holding it down for us. What's up, Dark Angel? You made it. He says, okay, off to watch your future initiative build as I want to make a group healer tonight. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a, so guys, I did lots of fun streams last week. I did a new Wingman build. It's a Wingman version 2. And then I did a live stream where I did an OG healer build, like an old school healer build, which were around like before they gave us future initiative, basically. And then I did an OG healer versus a future initiative build, like which is better, which is stronger, and why you would want to use this build over that build. And then I did a Wingman versus the OG healer build setup, like why you would want to use the Wingman build over the healer build. The Wingman build, if you're not familiar with it, is basically part tank, part healer. And so you're giving like a lot of, it's basically you're dishing out bonus armor, a lot of bonus armor, among other things. So, anyways, so yeah, a nice little defensive week of builds. Great for group play, basically all group support builds, so. Thanks for hashtag Tux Clan in it out there, you boys that are in Tux Clans. That lets everybody know who's interested in joining the clan and who to reach out to. So yeah, I mean, basically, basically like negotiators, guys, it just makes look at that bonus armor. Look at that bonus armor right there. I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, how much armor do you think that is? Let me scroll back just a couple of seconds. Let's take a guess on how much armor that is. Let me swing it to about right there. I'm gonna pause it when we get to that max bonus armor. I mean, right, that's right, that's good enough. But how much armor do you think that is? About 3 million armor? Is that what that looks like to you guys? So remember, we're starting with the base armor is 1.5 million, and it looks like it's about double. So that's about 3 million armor right there. That's pretty easy to get with this build, I think. Anybody run Bloodsucker with negotiators? It's a really nice synergy. It's a really nice synergy. So negotiators, and so like I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, like the negotiators is a good setup for compensating and lost damage. And Bloodsucker is, you only got 3 talents on your build, right? Your gun, your chest, and your backpack. And so when you're losing one of those talents, then you need to find a way to make up for that loss of damage. So we lost a talent to a defense, which is a Bloodsucker. And so negotiators makes up for that lost damage by allowing us to apply that same damage we're focusing on a single target to 2 additional targets. And so that's why it's so valuable, and that's why Negotiators is probably, hands down, probably the best DPS build in the game, probably. It's really easy to make, so I think that's goes in the plus column. I mean, you can have 300% crit damage on a Negotiators build if you get your setup right. You know, and it's just like, and you basically don't have to move, so you don't need much armor in reality. Look at that bonus armor. Look at that bonus armor. Boom. Look at that. I mean, that bonus armor is that's really great for these drone ladies. You know what I mean? Or grenaders or whatever. Ratchet. Woo! Appreciate the super chat, bro. Ratchet, super chatting us. Thanks, man. Supporting the cause, spreading the love. That's a lot of coffees. It's a lot of coffees. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate your continued support. Your loyalty, too. Very loyal fan of the channel. Wolf King, what's up, man? Says, great videos like your builds. Thanks, man. Always working hard, guys. Like, so yeah, so a new member of the Players Club went on to Discord and in the members channel, and then you guys, all you guys in the Players Club are welcome to join this. We have a Pimp My Build area where you can drop a picture of your build and tell me what you love or hate about it. And if you want me to pimp it out, you just say, what would you do, Tux? And so he put out a really cool Mad Bomber build. And so I'm going to pimp that one out. So look forward to that live stream probably later this week. I just need to farm it out and decide what direction I'm going to go. But when's the last time you guys used Mad Bomber? Right? Mad Bomber used to be actually pretty cool back in the day. You know, you throw out, you know, this is like way before all the Memento and Ridge's Pride stuff. So, hey, this is why you need to run Gunner, guys. So I just ran out of ammo right there. So keep that in mind. You need to have a good backup weapon. That's really common. So obviously it wasn't a big issue, but it's really common to run out of ammo with Negotiators and Striker type builds, because the idea, again, with the Negotiator Striker build is to always be firing. Hey, Frank Harvey says Negotiators and the backfire should be a crit nightmare. What do you guys think about that? Well, you know Tux has already done that, right? You know, I'd be busy. I'd be creating builds like a madman. So I have created that build. I just dropped the link for it. Negotiators Backfire build, Frank Harvey. I invite you to check that one out. It's a beast. It's a beast. I do have to admit, I do have mixed feelings about the Backfire in general. And that's because I think the biggest thing that I don't like about it is the timeout thing, you know? Like that the stacks of crits only last 10 seconds. And that's actually, for all the work that you have to put into your build, for all the hazard protection you have to run, you know what I mean?
You can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Appreciate you, man. Welcome to Tux's Players Club. Woo woo. Thanks, man. Appreciate you joining, Robert. All the support. I feel loved. I feel loved. To all my banditos out there, my beautiful banditos, you're all so beautiful. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for supporting me in the channel and joining Texas Players Club. I hope you take advantage of those classified builds. Floyd Rocker says Tux definitely going to join a PC clan. Looking forward to playing with the like-minded folks. Yeah, good, man. Are you on Discord? If not, you should check that out, man. You guys are gonna be here. I can sound like broken records, man, because I need you guys to be there. I need you to be with me. I need you to be there. I need you to be there. And it's because, like I said, like I'm trying to use my brand platform, the Tuxedo brand, to hold up the community, to hold you guys up, like Atlas. You know, you know who Atlas is? You know, the guy with the world on his neck, basically. That's like Tuxedo. Because I'm not trying to boast myself or whatever, but I'm just trying to say, like, I want to use my brand to hold the community together until we get it popping again. And we're gonna be popping again, yo. Like when they drop that content, just watch it blow the F up. You know? Watch this, everybody's gonna come out of the woodworks. All those people that left, they're all gonna come back. Because have you guys tried playing other games out there? I mean, what are you guys trying to play out there? What about Battlefield? Anybody playing 2042? Far Cry 6? We got Rainbow Six, the new Rainbow Six Extraction. I mean, anybody playing these games? What do you think about them, right? Look at that new spot, by the way, for my turret. That's my newest spot for the turret. Top of TVs. Throughout the whole District Union Arena, there's TVs, and they actually make really good turret spots. So if you place your turrets high, then the chungas have a hard time busting your turret. So you know. So throw your turrets high, and the TVs have really good vantage points. So that's why I threw my turret up there on the TV. See, my turret's got clear line of sight all the way down the hallway there. Little Tux tip. But yeah, so come join Discord, guys. Like if you've never done Discord, it's not a big deal. You don't need to be a pro at it or anything like that. It's just a social media app for gamers that are just like you and me. And so if you're, like I was saying, like if you're a build connoisseur, which I probably inadvertently made you one, because if you like my builds, you end up getting in builds, right? But we have good build talk channels there, and we on top of like group up channels for each platform. So if you're on Xbox, there's a group up channel, PlayStation, PC, and then also we have clan channels. So if you want to hook up with the clans, that's the easiest place to get to us. But the build channels are a lot of fun, man. So if you got a good build that you would like to share, you can just drop it and be like, hey guys, just sharing a really fun build, and people just appreciate you for that, man. But also if you're looking for feedback and be like, how would you make it better? Then that's a really good place to do that. Wick the Swede is joining us on Twitch. What up, Wick the Swede? Appreciate all you guys on my Twitch side of things. Which reminds you, all YouTubers, you need to go follow me on Twitch because I'm trying to grow that out. On the Twitch side. Example TM says hello. Yeah, AG, actually, I was holding out on my PvP content for the Division Heartland. So AG's asking us from YouTube whether Tux will play Division Heartland when it comes out, and the answer is Tux will. Tux will. Yeah, I was supposed to be out by now. Actually, we were expecting like November-ish originally, but they delayed it, and so I'm having a hard time with this drop here. Anyways, and so I was like, I've been holding out on my PvP side of things for that, and so when it does, that's where I'm gonna put all my PvP energy for the most part. So I just think this Division 2 has too much PvP issues, and plus I think also the PvE community is so large and is struggling so much right now that it really requires a lot of my focus there. So Reese Snow, what's going on, bud? Hey, I'm thinking about opening up. These are just thoughts here, but probably gonna end up doing it. But I'm thinking of opening up an all-girls club, a gamer girls club under the Tux banner, to support all our sisters in the Division 2. What do you guys think about that? Guys or girls think about that? And the reason why is because I realized there's actually not a lot of gamer girls in the Division 2. I mean, there's of course some. It's not exclusively male, but it's a smaller population that I believe are on other games, like Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff like that. So, so I really want to kind of embrace our sisters in the house and kind of make a safe place for them to group up and, like if they want to affiliate with an all-girl type club community where they can have, group up, invitations or chats or whatever, then, I'm thinking about starting up that. And I think the first place to do that will probably be on Discord, set up a gamer girl community, gamer girl only. So it would be an invite only. And so none of you bros would be allowed. It'd be basically a place for only our gamer girls in the house. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Guys and girls think about that. So. And the reason why, I think this is coming from me, but it's sometimes it could be for girls, it could be for ladies, gamer girls, whatever you want to call it, is it could be kind of awkward sometimes. You come across there could be some strange dudes out there, I guess, right? And it can make gaming sometimes uncomfortable for a girl. When there's a dude so, come here often? Like, what are you doing tonight? You know what I mean? And so like, you know, sometimes they don't want to mess with that bull and they just want to game and they just want to, you know, kill some tusk. You know what I mean? So, anyways, yeah, so an all-girls club, basically. Give them a safe place to game it out. And there's things out there like that also. There's already community, all-girl gaming communities on Discord, so that's not a unique thing. But I want to do an all-girl Division 2 gaming community. And then, you know, I would like to support that community as well. So if there's any streamers, female streamers out there, you know, I want to give my support out and do what I can to help their channels grow and succeed as well. So if that's you, so if you're a gaming girl, whether you own a YouTube channel or not, but if you're a gamer girl and you play the Division 2, hit us up, hit me up, or Latina. She's here, but also on Discord, and say, yeah, I'd like to get involved, but we'll be setting that up here in the near future. So, but it will be invite only. So, you know. So no catfishing, dudes. No catfishing. You won't be able to. Invite only. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I saw some boys hitting us up from the other part of the world. Who was that? I saw Rotterdam up there. Who's coming in from Rotterdam? Thanks for letting me know where you guys are from, by the way. That does help me get a gauge on where in the world I'm hitting with these live streams so that I can get you again. So I'm just kind of pulling through the feed here. Kudos, cool. Kudos says he's joined. So Latina will sort you out if you didn't make it. So, and if for some reason you didn't get in, just let Latina know and she'll help you out. Yeah, AG goes, yeah, some gamer dudes guys are weird, creepy around gamer girls. Absolutely no need for it. Yeah. No, it's just like, you know, it's just like, I mean, wouldn't it be annoying if, you know, like, you know, you want to come on here and game and like relax, not get hit on. This isn't a dating app. You know what I mean? And so it's like, and so some guys are really cool and easy to play with, and some dudes are just like kind of goofy and get kind of weird around girls and inadvertently flirt maybe. And so that's just can be annoying sometimes, or also, you know, sometimes there's inappropriate conversations and comments that just maybe not inclusive to everybody that's in the chat feed or whatever, you know. So that's just stuff like that, you know, annoying things, and more that we don't know about as dudes. Like I'm just speculating on. Like I'm a dude, like I don't know I can't imagine or fathom what girls go through, right? In the gaming community, I'm sure there's a lot that they've had to tolerate. Anthony says, girls club is cool, dudes are weird. We are weird, man. We just don't know what to do with ourselves sometimes. Jasper, 2,400 hours, woof. Nice. I don't even know what mine is. Let me look. You have to log out to see that, don't you? Let me see here. Stats being, no, where do you go to see that? I forget. I mean, I always see it like when I log in, log out. Progression maybe? Let me just log out because it's the easiest place to find it. Booze Nasdaq. Of course, I'm still on, man. We're kicking it. Got a good crowd in the house. We're working our Bloodsucker builds. Picking up some Players Club, homies. Let's see here. What are my hours? So it says time played. It's giving me in days. 204 days. Plus 6 hours. So I'd have to multiply that out, but that sounds like a lot. Sounds like over 4,000 hours. Cali time, Visual Paradox. All right, good. You're on the West Coast with me. I hail from Portland, Oregon, if you guys didn't already know that. Thanks, Wick the Swede. Appreciate that, man. I want to come up with a name for it. I don't know. Something like, you know, Guns N' Roses, or I don't know. Something, you know, like along those lines. Something that's like both sweet and rugged at the same time kind of name. I don't know. It's basically going to be like a I want to give it like a club kind of name, a club kind of feel, you know. Maybe I can give it a temporary name, and then as we get more Tux's Angels. Oh, fucking badass, kudos. Yes. Yes. Tux's Angels. That's cool. That's come up in a conversation before in a stream a long time ago about something totally different. Like Tux's Angels and whatever. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, totally. That's it was about live. It had to do with the live stream, but that's a great name for it actually. Tux's Angels. Ratchet says, as a guy, I've been hit on by guys, so I see no need. Greetings from Prague, Czechia. Ales Namen. Cool, man. Wow. I think you are the first person that's actually said they're from Prague. Maybe we have others from Prague too. But that's really cool, man. Welcome inside the world. Okay, so we're switching out of the negotiators build. So let me pop on over. Let me throw on my skill build and show you guys what's up. Okay, so this is the skill Bloodsucker build for those of you that are joining in a little later. This whole build is around Bloodsucker also, okay? But Bloodsucker and then armor regen underneath it. So that's the synergy here. So basically we're gonna put up our shields, which are invisible shield, which is Bloodsucker, and then any damage we took, the armor regen is gonna heal us while that Bloodsucker shield is up. Now the synergy here, that if you're not familiar with Bloodsucker, if you've never used it, then your skills can proc, so when your skills get a kill, they can proc Bloodsucker. Now the only thing here is that you don't want to lose too many skill tiers, so I got a 5 skill tier build here, and we got 2 blue cores, okay? So I'm using Bellstone for that perfect Bloodsucker, 12% bonus armor, all right? And then we got armor and skill damage and protection from elites. And then 3-piece Empress, this is our first, skill damage armor, regen, and then I got these Murakami knee pads. If you don't have these, you can also have a skill tier here with skill damage or anything in between. But this is giving us armor regen and more duration. This is our second piece of Empress. I should have armor regen there, but I didn't have that version, so it is what it is. And then our first piece of Empress, our third piece of Empress, which is armor regen and skill damage, and then more protection from elites. Our chest piece is Wyvern, skill damage, armor regen, protection from elites, glass cannon. So that gives us 38% protection from elites, okay? And so that protection from elites, you'll see, is pretty vital in some fights. So really good armor regen on this build, really good armor regen, so look out for that. It's not gonna be as much bonus armor as the negotiators build that you just saw because we're not running as much armor. Also, our time to kill is a little bit slower on this in compared to negotiators, because negotiators we had 300%, or what was it, 250% crit damage, I think, on negotiators, 250%. So that's pretty strong. And plus we're spreading the damage across multiple enemies. What is your Bugnazzi? Where does your daughter live? In Portland or in Prague? Depends on where your comment came across, but I think you're saying in Portland. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's a really safe city. So if your daughter lives here, then she's in a safe city, man. I grew up here my whole life, born and raised. Hey, she's in Scotland. All right, Scotland brothers in the house. Nice. Hope you guys are all safe and staying safe with all these COVID variations coming out. So keep it safe. Make sure your game protected. It's funny, isn't this game, right? Like, it is like, this is COVID. Like, this is COVID. This is COVID, the game. This is COVID, the game. Oh, a couple of Boise boys. Yeah, Fat Cat's from Boise. That's... Joseph, you must be from there too. Luis Vasquez coming in live from Brooklyn. Brooklyn in the house. Spider in Vegas. All right, Bugnazi. Okay, gotcha. Portland. Your daughter's in Portland. Yeah, she's in a safe place, man. Spider Vegas. Place I like to visit. Haven't been there since COVID days, though. Place I avoid because of COVID. Large crowds. We'll get to normal soon, hopefully. Reese Snow in Birmingham, England. All right. Yeah, you guys are about 8 hours ahead. So let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's about 1:30 in the morning your time, maybe? Arrowhead's got a question from us coming from YouTube. He says, late to the stream, but he goes, RPM seems a little high for strain for me. Have you ever used the MK16 with strains? It actually handles quite well too. I tried the MK16 once and it just wasn't for me. Like, I just didn't like the way it handled. But I'm on Xbox, and I know the people those that I've audibly heard love the MK16. I've noticed were also PC players, so I don't know if that makes a difference, but it just wasn't for me. So no, I haven't tested much with the MK16 because of that. But I feel like strain and at 850 RPMs, I am hitting that 50% mark. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the slower the better for strain, for sure. But I did mention that too. That for 850 seems to be a good place with strain for me. But try also Optimus if for those of you who are concerned about RPMs and whatever. And if you love the Police M4 and you want to use a higher RPM, then go Optimist. But yeah, I'm sure the MK16 is a great weapon for some of those. You know, there's so many good assault rifles, really. You know what I mean? There's so many good assault rifles. It's totally preference. Shane O says, hey, Tux, House of Louis still open or burned down yet? Miss food from P-Town. Yeah, the P-Town is all about food, man. There's some good grub here. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about House of Louis. I think it's still up. I think because that was one of a really popular place, so I think it's still around. I haven't been there in a while or eaten there. You know, there's so many restaurants have gone to like the delivery model, right? Like Postmates or Uber food delivery kind of thing. Yeah, so nice little bonus armor. It's not too high on this build, but it's enough to move freely, pick up some ammo, whatever you got to do. But again, the bonus armor on this build is really about allowing us to spend more time shooting out of cover. You know, staying in cover, but shooting, you know, without having to blind fire. And also protecting our armor regen, so when we take damage, it protects armor regen. But in Legendary, it does a really good job, the bonus armor against the drone ladies, who are your biggest threat. In Legendary, your largest threat are the drone operators. Chungas, no problem. Snipers, no problem. Grenaders, no problem. Your biggest threats are the drone operators, because they sit in the back, they hide, and they send those drones at you, and they send wave after wave. So, and sometimes you get lucky and you clear them out quickly, but that bonus armor tends to protect you against them, as long as you're getting your killing time. Done. Availing Power, the French Toast Connection. That's my spot every time I go to Portland. Ooh, I don't know the French Toast Connection. There's so many restaurants I gotta get caught up with, apparently, huh? Arrowhead, you are on the PC there. Yeah, so I think you got a little more control over your ARs than we do, but so they say. Yeah, Measured Visual Paradox is saying he likes the Black Market AK with Measured and Striker. Yeah, that thing must rip. You know, because it's relatively slow, right, at first, but with Measured and striker on top of it. Yeah, that thing must rip. Oh, it's one of the little food carts. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, we got food carts everywhere, huh? I feel like we started the food cart sensation in Portland. Fat Cat says, yep, you can give yourself a booster whenever you want. This game is COVID. It's all a lie! It's a Division hoax. Yeah, the carbine, people are saying that it is difficult to get the carbine. You know what's funny, Xander, is you probably get the carbine when you're not looking for it, for sure. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of the carbine. I mean, I went through a little phase where I was using it for a little bit, and it's all right. I mean, it's good, no doubt. But it doesn't stand out as exceptional. It's like a balanced assault rifle, and I think that's why you probably like it. Why a lot of people like it is that it's pretty balanced between power and RPMs and all that, and handling. And so it's well balanced. But my favorite is the CTAR, and the only reason why I'm not running it is because it doesn't handle the scope. But I don't know if you guys saw my live streams where I was running the AKM, and I was running it with the strongest build in the game, 4-piece striker, and what was I running on the backpack? The Vigilance, and then on the chest I was running Focus, 30x scope, and I mean we were crit at 1.45 million. It's just that. And then, you know, it's just the handling, even with Striker, is still not that good. So when I switched over to the Police M4, just for demonstration purposes, and be like, look at how many, you land so many more shots that we were clearing the field way faster. Our time to kill was faster because we were just landing more shots, even though we lost 40,000 damage per round. I mean, think about that, you know. But you just land one extra round, then you make up for 2 missed bullets. You land one extra round off the Police M4, makes up for 2 missed bullets on the AKM. Not critting, of course. Chad Hansis, what's going on, my man? Dark Phantom Foxy, what's good, Tuxedo? He says, what's good to you, Dark Phantom? Welcome, welcome, guys, to the stream. We are just doing a little Bloodsucker. Just a little Bloodsucker build or two. We got 2 Bloodsucker builds. Right now we're showing the skill version one. And I'm demonstrating basically synergies with Bloodsucker. And how to use it towards your advantage, right? With Bloodsucker, it's really important that you got your synergies going, because otherwise you get a lot of waste from Bloodsucker. I'll admit that. Like, if you don't have your synergies set up right, then there's a lot of waste. Like, you might as well, like, if you're wondering, the Memento in general is way better than Bloodsucker, and it's also way better than Unstoppable, right? And so the difference is that how you're utilizing it. So if we were playing out of cover a lot, or like moving a lot, or pushing forward a lot, then the Memento by far would be better than Bloodsucker, because we'd be grabbing all those trophies every time. But if that's why both of these builds that I'm showing you, these are hold your ground builds, right? This is basically pick a good piece of cover, hold your ground, kill everybody from that single spot. And that makes a good Bloodsucker build. Because then then from there, it's like your other components, but that's how you use Bloodsucker to your advantage, right? But if you're running and gunning, if you're moving around, if you're not holding your ground, then the Memento's way better. It's going to give you the bonus armor and the bonus damage and the skill efficiency and everything in between. You know what I mean? So, but it's got the same downfalls as the Memento, in the sense where, like, if you're playing in a group, you're still competing. You're not competing for trophies. You're competing for kills. If you don't get the kill, you don't get the bonus armor. So then you just got to waste the talent, right? So think about that when you're running in a group. You got to have a lot of power with your build, and that's why we're running glass cannon. You want to have more damage. You want to be putting out more damage than your teammates. So you got to have kill power, and that's why you want to run glass cannon. Otherwise, you know, you can be competing for kills with your other squad mates, people on your team, and, you know, if they got more damage, they're gonna be getting your kills instead of you most of the time. Dark Phantom, yo, you just got the chill out mask. Oh yeah, Arrowhead, you know what I'm talking about, man. That is the build. I put that together in a live stream, kind of on the fly, so not many people know it's out there, okay? So you gotta watch my live streams, because lots of good build nuggets, guys. I squeeze in extra builds in many of these live streams. So yeah, do check out my live stream. Stay steady, because some good builds out there. But one of the builds that I snuck into a live stream was a 4-piece striker Sitar build. And boy, oh boy, that thing shreds. And I know some people caught on to it, but we were critting at, I think 1.225 million on the Sitar. And I was running killer. So yeah, Arrowhead knows what I'm talking about, because he says, I love the Sitar with 4-piece striker and killer. And that's exactly the build that I ran. It absolutely shreds, guys. So you want to run, and the way I do it, I don't know about Arrowhead, but I run 4-piece striker, but I run the chest piece, the striker chest piece. And then I think I run vigilance on the back. No, you can run vigilance or the memento, just depends on how you play. And then crits everywhere on the striker set. And then you want to run killer, which is going to give you 50%. I think it's 50%, or is it 40%? 40% crit damage on kill. I think it's 40% because it's not perfect. So anyways, you got to think 1.2 million, 1.225 is, I think is what it was. 1.225 million on crit. You're like, oh, that's not a big deal. My M1A hits at like 3-4 million. This is at 1,085 RPMs. Or more. I think it's actually more than that, but over 1,000 RPMs at 1.225 million. Think about that, guys. That's a Gatling gun. That's like, you're a Chunga. You're a Chunga, basically. Yeah, without all the armor. You're just like, that is like, you are cutting down trees. You're surgically removing heads and limbs and everything in between. It's a beast. Hey, guys, be sure to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. That really helps out the channel. Also, consider joining Texas Players Club. We would love to have you. And you know you're in a Players Club because you got a cool little skull next to your name. So drop a link to that. Make it easy for you. No excuses. No excuses. Nice and easy. Yeah, but you guys, the Sitar is really good. And I've graduated to this game, in this game. I feel like the trend for me is the longer that I've played in this game, the more I've gravitated to the heavy hitter guns. You know what I mean? In general, so especially in the rifle category and the SMG category. So my SMGs have gotten slower and stronger, and same with my rifles. So my favorite rifle in the game is the 1886, hands down. One shot, one kill. And I love that about my pistols, and I even love that about my shotguns. Same thing with the shotguns. So I started with a faster. This is my first favorite shotgun was the Super 90, and then now my new favorite shotgun is the M870, which is slow and strong, one shot, one kill. When you get everything procced. So the only thing that hasn't gone that way really is my assault rifles. I think that, and I've worked in strong, slow assault rifles, but at the end of the day, I end up, when somebody asks what's your favorite one, it's still the Sitar. And actually, the actual favorite assault rifle, this very specific one, is the Rail Splitter. Hands down. Hands down, the Rail Splitter. It is my overall favorite assault rifle in the game. I believe it's stronger and better than the Eagle Bearer. And I'm not talking PvP. This is just PvE. PvP is a whole nother world, and you're gonna probably better off asking somebody else what they think. But but for PvE, Rail Splitter. It just shreds. Don't underestimate accuracy and RPMs. Don't underestimate that. I hope you guys saw that build video where I did a side-by-side comparison between an all meta, running contractors, gloves, and foxes, and then I ran the Sitar with killer, with perfect glass cannon, all that stuff, all that juice, basically the meta build with the Sitar, and then I ran it against an all weapon handling build with 185% accuracy on the Rail Splitter, right? And so it was basically minimum crits. But because of RPM and it landed so many bullets, the time to kill was so fast that it was... if I would have told you I was wearing glass cannon, you would have believed me, but I wasn't. I was running braced or something like that. I think I was running braced. So the time to kill is when you land that has so many extra shots, your time and you have the RPMs to back it up. It looks like you're running glass cannon when it comes to time to kill. Interesting, right? Interesting. But But some people have a hard time accepting that, right? They're just, you know, right? So it's still an argument in the field, even if you show the visual, it'll be like, you're talking a millisecond difference between the meta and 185% accuracy, you know? But I guess all I gotta say is, like, in some, landing your shots means something. Mr. Gods! Are you lurking? Lurking. Good to have you on, man, again. Thanks for all the helpful tips, too, you've been giving, by the way, in the messages. Appreciate that. They have come in handy. Arrowhead says 50% accuracy on a PC is crazy. I believe you, man. I believe you. It probably feels like you have the hand of God, right? That's probably what I would call that build, the hand of God. You guys remember the old rail splitter before they made the gear changes? It used to have perfectly measured on it, like the apartment. Yeah, Visual Paradox, that's a good one. He says the Visual Paradox on YouTube is saying, last week I was doing 4-piece striker with Chameleon, doing 1 mil hits with buffs. Yeah, so I have that build too, actually, and I haven't officially published it, and that's because, you know, TU14 was such a busy time for us content creators because there was so much to talk about and whatever, but I did live stream it. And I clocked a 4-piece striker Chameleon build at 1.25 million, and it wasn't maxed out all the way. So I was running a Grupo mask and a Memento backpack. So without it being maxed out all the way, but it was close, I was at 1.25 million. So I feel like it's gonna be around a 1.3, 1.35 million. But it's just that you have so many stacks going. It's you know, one's falling off, one's coming on. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have your Memento backpack stacks, and you have your Memento fresh trophy pickup, and then you have your body damage and crit stacks on the Chameleon, you know, and so it's like this, and then you got your striker stacks on top of that. So there's like so many stacks you're managing. It makes it difficult to get it like a read on the number, and that's mostly because the Memento doesn't work in the testing range. That's the big reason. But if the Memento worked in testing range, I'd be able to give you a more solid number. But definitely 1.25 million is where I clocked it at, but it will go a little bit higher when you're at full tilt, basically. But yeah, so that's a really good build, really good build. I do like the CTAR maybe a little bit better though, just in the sense of like, you don't have to wait for any stacking or anything like that. You just get your first kill and then you got that extra crit damage headed your way, but I'm a big fan of the Chameleon, so I use it a lot. My favorite part about the Chameleon is just that it brings all the crit chance you need. I think that's the biggest piece. Also, that 90% weapon damage is not a little thing. I mean, 90% weapon damage is like 6 red weapon damage cores on your build, 6 more. I mean, you're doubling your weapon damage. So you can use that in so many different ways. You can run an all tank build, all armor, and then run the Chameleon, you know, whatever. You know, as long as you're willing to tolerate the stacking to get there. Shadow says, God, I miss the old rail splitter. God. I totally know what you mean. Who's down to buy me a cup of Joe? If that's you, dropping a link. Appreciate the support. Support the dream. So yeah, so these builds are pretty casual, guys. So that's the one thing, like, these aren't aggressive builds. I mean, you know, fighting these dogs is a little out of cover, but for the most part, these are really, I mean, if you're looking to solo legendary and you've never really done it before, both of these builds are pretty casual for casual players. So they're actually, you know, not super aggressive. You know, meaning like you just find you still have to know what you're doing to solo legendary. And so I invite you to watch actually that video I put out yesterday morning. If you didn't check that one out, you should. But I just declassified a build yesterday morning. Did you guys see that one? We should talk about it. We should talk about that one. But these are both the builds today I'm showing you in Bloodsucker. These are good casual builds. So if you're not an aggressive player and you want to solo legendary or play in group, then both these builds are good for you. Both these builds are good for you. Because they're about, again, you just have to know where your good cover is. You find your good cover, and good cover allows you to shoot a lot. But I'm showing you here, look at here. I'm taking the damage. I'm just sitting here taking the damage. I'm standing there on purpose. I want you to see that. How much you can take. And that's basically, that's the armor regen plus the protection from elites. That's makes the build really forgiving for you. So notice that. Anyways, the build that I put out yesterday, if you guys haven't seen it, so I declassified a build. So it was privy to the Texas Players Club first, and so they had their way with it. But it's yesterday's build that I launched for the entire community is a very rare legendary build. It's got 45% armor on kill, solo legendary build. Yeah, 45% armor on kill, solo legendary build. So it's absolutely insane. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit more aggressive, okay? Because you know, it's you're moving around and you got to play a little tighter, a little closer. So that's what I mean by aggressive. You're moving around a lot, pushing forward. And so I'm gonna drop you links here. There you go, drop the link there. So this is the latest build right there. Okay, but what I wanted you to, the reason why I'm bringing it up, not just because it's fresh and it's one you gotta watch, but also because along with it, okay, so linked to that video, linked to that build video is a full legendary walkthrough. So I show you how to do a solo legendary using that build from front to back. Thanks, Jasper. Appreciate you jumping on board, man. Joining the Players Club. Good night, brother Bandito. So I teach you how to solo legendary using that build. So that's a lot about like, here's the good cover. This is when you push. These are your kill priorities, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I invite you to watch, check out that build, but also watch the video that's linked to it. It's a live stream recording of me solo legendary from front to back. It's unedited, so it is full legendary gameplay, no edits. So gives you a clean look on how to solo legendary. Visual Paradox, I believe you should go Vigilance. Vigilance, especially with sniper builds, I almost always go Vigilance. What are you running for your chest talent, Visual? If you're running Headhunter, I think Vigilance is a nice add-on for Headhunter. Because once you get Headhunter procced, you don't really care if Vigilance is activated or deactivated anymore. Because Headhunter sort of takes over in all the damage, basically. That's why. Headhunter is so strong that it doesn't matter if any of your other damage modifiers are activated anymore once you get Headhunter active. Joseph White, catch you on the other side. Catch you on the flippity flip. Appreciate you, man. Welcome to the Players Club 2 again. Thanks for your support. Cool, guys. I think we've laid it down. I think you guys got some things to work on here with your Bloodsucker builds. I hope it was helpful. And I better get to some farming too, so that I can put together some really cool new builds for you guys. So I will catch you on the flippity flip.
Tuxedo out.
Flows, the last